Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. As I was getting the timestamps for this video, I started to realize this may be a long video. Unfortunately for someone, for you maybe. So get comfortable, get popcorn, get a blanket, get situated. We're gonna be in for the long haul, guys. So buckle up, buckle the fuck up. All right, let's go. Enough of this meandering bullshit.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Factorio, and ET on the Atari 2600. Now, I'm going to be honest.
Now, I want to bring this up before we get to the reason why I have this part here. He wants to do chess, right? Now, I'm pretty sure, like 99% positive, that this guy said, no multiplayer games, so no fighting games, I just want to play, like, games that have a beginning, middle, and end. Someone nominates chess, and he's like, yeah, let's do chess, man. But that's a multiplayer game. It's no story. There's no story in chess. Unless there is. Maybe there is. I haven't played chess in, like, so long. So maybe there is a story. The only chess I know is the one Devil May Cry 3, where you like fight the chessboard. That's the only game of chess I know.
To be honest, okay, some of these are kind of dumb. For example, Lollipop Chainsaw.
Why is that dumb? He wants to play. He said he wanted a single player game. Now, I will say the remaster of Lollipop Chainsaw is not good. It's a trash port, unless they fixed it. I don't think they did, but yeah, it's not good. I wish they just gave us the original. Like, just let that be playable on Xbox One or Series X or whatever the fuck. But whatever. I guess this is the best it's gonna be, and it's a Suda51 game, but he was not involved with this remaster. Like, no one who made the game was involved. It's another studio that was handling it. And I think it was like their first game there that they handled or whatever the fuck. So whatever, but it's just not the best re-release.
I looked into it. That was a remaster that released in September. It's $45.
This dude complained about other games being 60. Oh, this is $70 and it should be 30 or whatever the fuck, like Dragon's Dogma 2. This is a remaster that's $45 and he's like, "Oh, that's too much, man." But how much money is he asking to hit 100 goals hit from whatever the fuck goal this was? I think this was 94, 93, whatever, out of 100. So, how much money? It's 150 per stream to hit like 100 goals hit. Yeah, would have to do that throughout the week, whatever. And $45 is a lot? I mean, I feel like eventually someone's gonna tell him, Phil, this is a bad port. Pure say it's a bad port. I think we're gonna have to skip it, man. Like, oh, okay. But it gets dumber, don't worry.
$45, and all they did was upgrade.
But honestly, the one remaster they did, though, was the Shadows of the Damned. They re-released that. That's actually a good re-release. I haven't went back to it, but it's $25, and the game actually feels pretty good. I'm playing on PS5. I think there might be some smaller issues, but man, the DualSense controller support in that game is so good. The rumble is so good. So I've been liking it a lot more than when I first played it. I still not a huge fan of the gimmick in the game where you have to, when you're in like a dark world or whatever the fuck, you lose health. I'm not a fan of that, but it's still kind of fun. It's a nice arcadey kind of game. So you know, that's solid. You should play that. It's $25.
Upgrade the graphics. That's it. Apparently, the game, I actually was reading reviews.
Oh, you did.
It's not very good. They didn't upgrade anything in the game at all. It's the same exact game, and to be honest, the game isn't very good. It's a very repetitive game. It's
a hack and slash. I mean, when I first played on PS Triple, that's what I call it, guys. I did enjoy the game. I think the only issue was that it was a little janky here and there, but I still think it was an enjoyable game. I don't think it's one of Suda's best games. I think that's No More Heroes, Killer 7. Those are the bangers. Lollipop Chainsaw, I think is just a solid fun game. Uh, but this dude always has a negative opinion of it because uh, it has a woman in it. But I feel like this is gonna be like the stellar blade of this marathon. He's gonna play it and he's gonna be like, this is terrible. Let's try. Wow, such gameplay. Like it's gonna be that kind of playthrough. So he already made up his mind.
Very cheesy sexual adult humor. It kind of reminds me of like a a Suda game.
Oh my god, I gotta hear
To be
this
honest, the
again.
game isn't very good. It's a very repetitive game. It's got very cheesy sexual adult humor.
It's a joint between Suda and James Gunn, by the way. Both of them worked on this game. The sexual humor in the game, no one really had a problem with it. I mean, even people would say, "Oh, the SJWs would hate," even they don't have a problem with this game because it's very clear that that's like the joke of it. Like it's parodying like George Romero's zombie movies basically and all this other stuff. Like it's not that not that big of a deal. But DSP has to go over Karen mode to talk about it because he's scared of seeing midriff, I guess. I don't know.
Humor. It kind of reminds me of like a a Suda game. What is it? Suda 45 or whatever.
Suda 45. Now this is why I wanted to talk about this specific thing. I'm a huge Suda 51 fanboy, so I get triggered about this kind of shit apparently. But it is a Suda 51 game. Him and James Gunn worked on it. James Gunn is the only aspect of it that's like, you can probably tell when he was involved with it. But it was a joint effort between the two basically because they both worked on this game. Uh, so him saying, "Oh, it's like this," it's ridiculous. And the other aspect of it, Suda 51 games are more than just sexual humor. See, this is what pisses me off because if you play No More Heroes, Travis Strix again as well, and No More Heroes 2, no, well, not No More Heroes 2, don't play that one. That one is whatever. No More Heroes 3, there we go, get the good one. Uh, you realize that his games are not just fucking all sex or anything weird like that. They're actually like good games that have good stories. Like Travis Strikes Again is a huge love letter to indie games. Like a lot of the story even talks about that, and it even goes into like in an arbitrary way, in a sense. It even talks about Suda 51's relationship with EA when he was doing Shadows of the Damned, where that experience almost made him want to stop making video games. Because during that period of Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadow of the Damned, and Killer is Dead, was like those games had a lot of outside factors affecting the development of that. Like Killer's Dog, yeah, Killer's Dead. The publisher Xseed, Crossseed, whatever, pretty much told Suda like, look, you gotta add the Gigolo missions. You gotta have that in the game because our customers love that shit. And he's like, oh, okay. And he just added it because he told him to. He didn't like wanted to add those Gigolo missions, but he put him there because he was told to. And like Shadows Dam was a completely different game until EA told him no. RE4 is the hot shit. Do that. And then you got Shadows of the Damned. And all this other stuff. Like it's very obvious to me, like if you play any of his games, it's he's not this like sex crazed crazy person. He doesn't there's no characters in No More Heroes that has the as weak a rating as Quiet and MGS5 where it's like yeah, she gotta wear a bikini cause nano machines, I mean parasites or anything like that. I mean even then Kojima has other stuff going on in his writing than just that as well, to be fair. But I mean Suda Video has a lot going on in his fucking games than just dude, cheerleaders and zombies. So this dude doesn't know shit. He's a fake fan. Fake Suda 51 fan. Boo this man.
Whatever, Suda 51, whatever he is.
Whatever he
It's
is.
kind of that style of game. So it's not a great game. And the thing is,
has no idea what his games are about. He never played Killer 7, and he has a PC. He could play the remaster of Killer 7, which is a great game. I love that game. Unfortunately, I think they fixed it on Steam from what I heard, like, because they did a major update which added some good stuff, but a lot of the bad stuff was like the AI resolution, which it kills a lot of the good shit in it. Like, they had animated cutscenes for like this Power Rangers kind of like Sentai reference that they have. The AI butchers that scene completely, but I think they fixed that. I think they give you an option to turn off that kind of like change, which is good. Uh, I don't know if that's available on Steam Deck, that kind of change, because I saw it like, oh, you have to go through a different menu, but you probably could. I have the GameCube version. Yeah, I cucked out to get the $84 one for Game Club way back when. I don't regret paying that much. It was a great game. I love that game. I'm a huge fan of Killer 7. Love that game. Fantastic game. They should do another remaster where they just like take the GameCube game and just throw it on the PSN store. Why not?
I wouldn't really care about spending $45, except I'm never going to play it again. I know we're only going to play it for probably like an hour during this marathon.
Again, this runs into the same problem with all his marathons. Why does he just assume that the reason why people nominate these games is hopes that he'd give the game a fair chance, and then he may like the game, and he'd want to continue the game? Like, what if they just nominated Lollipop Chainsaw because they saw he played the original, and he probably liked it back in the day, and thought, oh, he should play the remaster, and you know, this and that, and he doesn't want to even give it the chance. But he will hype up this event to say, well, guys, if you play a game on the marathon and we like it, we can continue doing a full playthrough. But Lollipop Chainsaw, he already decided he's not going to continue this game because he thinks he's above sexual humor, which Lollipop Chainsaw has a lot more going on with it that I think is actually solid. I do kind of want to go back to the remaster and give it another chance, but I just remember I was very disappointed when I first played it. Like, the gameplay... Okay, hold up. Oh my god, okay. That was an important phone call. Someone had to wish me happy birthday. It was a great day. My birthday was a great day. Thanks for anyone who wished me a happy birthday. In general, thank you. Anyways, let's continue with this.
Marathon, and I'm going to have no desire to go back to the game because I remember the original playthrough was a slog. It was very repetitive and grindy and annoying in parts. It's just not a very good game. It was definitely it was a product of the era where all these zombie games were coming out, and people really wanted edgy, edgelord style, you know, zombie games. So this one is lots of gore and repetitive gameplay, but not a great plot or anything. It's kind of cheesy.
The plot was fine. Like the one aspect I did like about the game a lot was you could get multiple endings. I think there's only 2 endings, to be honest, and it was great. It was a great game. I liked it again. I maybe want to go back to giving the remaster a chance. I just remember being very disappointed and not very happy with it, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
I know I'm not going to play it after that, you know. I'm also curious about WWE 2K24. Like, I looked it up, and you can get a game.
I'm gonna go forward a little bit because you talk about anything else
or whatever. Okay. So anyway, goals in order to do. Okay. So that's what's going on right now. Now we are at 92 goals out of 100 hit. We hit 3 goals on Sunday, which was outstanding. And it was a good variety of people who showed up and supported all of my content on Sunday. I was very pleased to see, you know.
Okay. He's going to go into this. I'm just going to skip the preamble because he's going to say, we did it, the goal. Ah! So we're going to move on to 1650. Close enough.
The late stream was an indie game. So let's talk about how that went. So.
Oh, yeah.
Last night on the late stream, we played an indie game. Now, allow me to lay some groundwork for everybody.
I just love...
It's an indie game, so let's talk about how that went.
I just love, like, it's so obvious when he hits pause, but I mean, whatever.
So, last night on the late stream, we played an indie game. Now, allow me to lay some groundwork for everybody here, all right? In the last couple of years, I definitely feel like mainstream gaming has fallen off quite a bit. There used to be
Now, I think one of my initial things I want to do with this video, which I'm not going to do now, is I was going to find, because I tried to find this one rant he had where he was praising indie games, like, a lot. Can't find it, can't remember where it was. But this dude was saying how, like, the indie games are great and this and that. Like, you know, the one you can always go back to is it's a Plague Tale, which is very funny to me because, when he was initially asked to play that game, he was like, "Oh, it's an indie game, nah, man." So the person who wanted him to play it, like, kind of like gave him for basically $400. After that, he then was like, "Okay, I'll play it," and then he really loved it. It's like, dude, you only played it because you got like $400 to play the game. Like, it wasn't like he got like $100 each stream of a Plague Tale. He just got 400 straight up to fucking play the game.
a belief or a feeling that if you were going to play a game from a major AAA studio,
I want to hear this again. I want to hear the beginning of this. Come on, Chrome.
mainstream gaming has fallen off quite a bit. There used to be a belief or a feeling that if you were going to play a game from a major AAA studio, it was going to be amazing, right? It was going to blow your socks off. It was going to be groundbreaking,
used to be a belief.
milestone making, a must-play experience. And if you miss out on a major AAA game, man, you really missed out on some of the best stuff of the year. Sadly, I'd hate to say it, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, because see, AAA games used to be the yellow paint of games for DSP, where he just knew, hey, if I play this game, people are gonna love it. But now people are a little bit more like, they're a little bit skeptical with. And because again, if when prices go up and all this other stuff, and you start seeing trends in AAA because of all these other factors, you know, you're gonna be a little bit more like cautious about it. But I think the bigger issue when it comes to DSP and like finding a successful playthrough is very simple. He has no personality or taste or style in what he wants to play. It's always just following the dragon, basically.
Years, this has not been the case. Tons of AAA studios are now releasing games that are subpar, unfinished messes, underwhelming, a sequel that's just not as good as the original, a game that's made, as you could tell, just to print money for a bunch of people in a
this is fucking PR speak. This is all like this fucking
room or a bunch of stockholders that doesn't really have any artistic merit. And this is becoming.
Does he even care about artistic merit? To be completely honest, no, he doesn't. He fucking doesn't. I've done multiple videos showcasing how little this dude cares about the fucking art.
More and more and more common. It's sad, but it's true. You know how underwhelming was last year's hardcore gaming season. I wouldn't have even called it that. There were so few big releases, and the ones that came out weren't that good. I could probably count on one hand the amount of good games that I played between September and December of last year. So
they said this about every year, honestly. Like, of course, not every game is gonna be a banger. Like, come on.
That being said, people have requested more and more that I play indie games. They say, man, there's all these independent games.
The other context why people like tell him to play indie games is also the fact that they're usually cheaper, and then guess what this guy complains about? Not being able to afford games. So like, well, then play indie games. They're cheaper and this and that. And he still won't do it. He needs to have like events to even try them out. People have to buy the game for them. Mouthwashing was not that expensive. And it took him after a month of it trending for him to even play it. And he kept complaining during the Mouthwashing stream, why is no one supporting? Where's the support? I play indie games. Where's the support? Man, you know, that was the other thing I did not pull up because I figured we were going to be running into the same thing here. But he just kept bitching about how people tell him to play indie games and they're not supporting. But like, dude, indie games are cheap. He complains about spending $70 on a game that's a dud. Meanwhile, indie games are cheaper and he still complains as if he's spending $70.
Games that come out and you miss out on, Phil. Now, of course, up to this point, my ability to play indie games has been severely hampered by the platforms which I can play and capture games on. But
that is not even true, and it is so mind-numbingly dumb. Because a lot of these indie games in the modern era have mostly been able to release on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Steam is the easiest for indies to go to, so that's why that gets the most. But there is like an 80% chance an indie game is either on console the same day or is going to be on console eventually. And he never even tries it. Like Hades, he played Hades 2 on his mini PC. Like his mini PC could literally handle every indie game under the sun. And he's acting as if like, I need a huge gaming PC for indies. Like, dude, I could probably play a lot of them on my fucking Mac at this point.
That's not a factor anymore because now I have an incredibly high-end setup. I have a high-end gaming PC. I have a high-end capture and streaming setup. I have the capability.
He needed high-end devices to play indie games. That is insane. Like, how? How would you need that?
Capability to play whatever I want. So indie games now are on the menu, as they say.
As they say.
And in the last couple of months, I've played some really outstanding ones. For example,
wow.
Killer Frequency, which started off slow, but ended up being a really unique first-person murder mystery style.
Dude,
I've played some really outstanding ones. For example,
the whole point of him doing that was so that we wouldn't be able to hear it, but we were able to hear it perfectly. Look at that. Look how perfect that sounded. It's not even louder than he would when he does it into the mic. How do you do that?
Killer Frequency, which started off slow, but ended up being a really unique first-person murder mystery style game that I really enjoyed. What about Balatro, the card game with, that focus?
Balatro literally had to be nominated for the Game Awards, and he fucking shat on it when it first came out. No, not when it first came out. When it was first announced to be nominated. Like, you're telling me a card game got Game of the Year? Wow, what a bunch of agenda pushers. Or whatever the fuck. But now it's like, wow, look at Balatro, man. It's so cool. Okay.
Focuses on poker, but turns it into something very different, a roguelike poker game that I've really, really enjoyed playing and like going back to play and chill with you guys from time to time. And of course, there's the coin game, an awesome arcade simulator that allowed me to relive a lot of the ticket-style games of chance that I really enjoyed playing back when I was a kid or over the years, and now I have it in a virtual environment and share that with you. Plus, it had mini golf and other things, too, that was quite fun. So, those indie games that I've played have done pretty good, man. Really, honestly. I mean, I really enjoyed them. And I'm happy that people have suggested them and the like. But admittedly, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical that indie games will bring people out and that people will engage and support with the content because historically, whenever I've tried indie games, they don't really work. I would argue that games like Balatro,
but like they do work. I mean, he literally was bragging how Hades was such a success for him. Not Hades 2, Hades 1. But Hades 2, again, that was during the $50 a successful stream era. And I would honestly kind of argue that did pretty good for him with that in mind. Because he got like, what, $30 out of 50. He would need only 20. So you're telling me that's a huge, that's a failure? That $20 was going to change the world if you got it?
And Killer Frequency have been exceptions where they have done well. The streams have actually been supported and attended decently. And I'm happy for that, okay? And I'm grateful for that. So with last night's stream of Mouthwashing, this was a chance. I didn't know how it was going to go. All right, and
but the other
I was
thing
curious.
That is like wild about Mouthwashing and him begging about it was it's a short game, and he said he had like an hour left or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, you're bitching about the game not making a lot of money when the game is short and you could beat it basically in one sitting. Like, at that point, if a game is that short, hitting the goal should not really matter, and he should have been happy with whatever he got. In all reality, because it's not because he would mention longer games. Well, look, this game did not hit the goal for like 5 streams, and we're only 10 hours in out of 20, so I should play more? What? That's stupid. But this game is like 5 hours long, and he's like, guys, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like, dude, you're gonna beat it within the same week. Like, you're gonna probably hit the goal in with other games. Why does every goal need to be hit? And this is the same guy that said, like, not every stream could be a winner. I'm not looking to hit the goal every stream. I just don't want patterns to form and this and that. But he pitched this fucking goal system as a way to, like, to have less pressure and to celebrate the goal whenever he hits the goal.
Curious to see, what the game was, how it would turn out, etc. So, by the way, for the record, I was already interested in the game, and then someone gifted it to me, which was very nice. We had talked about it on a stream a week or two ago.
And that's the other thing. He got the game for free. Now, this dude has said in the past before when he got games for free, well, I don't really care about hitting the goal because I got the game for free, so there's no, like, financial risk. But now suddenly there's a financial risk again. Nothing's good enough for this guy.
2 ago, as a possibility of a game to test out. Now, from what I'm to understand, the game is very, very short. It's only like 3-4 hours long, and it's all pretty much narrative based, but it's horror, it's psychological thriller style game that's very adult oriented. So,
okay.
I said, you know what? For variety this week, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. People say more indies, so I'll give you more indies, and let's give it a go. Let's give it a.
This dude, when he, like, oh man, when this dude talks about indies, it really is just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it really is like a hostage situation. Like, I have a hostage, okay, and you're gonna give me money for this hostage, and I'm doing the thing you're telling me to do. Like, it's like that kind of shit. It's like, it's very confrontational, I guess, about playing an indie game. Like, he's playing the indie game and he's like, well, you see, I'm doing what you're saying, you better support. And it's like, I thought you wanted to give the game a chance. Why is it about, like, I'm doing what you're, like, it doesn't seem genuine. I, like, hate how this guy talks about indies.
So, here's
annoying.
how it went last night, okay? By the way, I should use my blower tool because I'm seeing some hair and dust is accumulating.
Oh my god! I see. I gotta blow it into the keyboard with the mic, and like this shit always pisses me off. I don't know why. It's another thing that, like, annoys me. He has the most annoying tics in the world. Like, God created the most annoying man possible. Like, he was created in a lab to be the most annoying person imaginable. It's all there on display.
On the keyboard, so I should probably clean it. Okay, so in regards to mouthwashing, what do I think about it? Okay,
keyboard.
Interesting visual style that's kind of like, pixel graphics, but also has this like filter over it. It tries to make it look like retro but future at the same time.
More like polygons, buddy. You ever played a
interesting
PS1?
Premise? I don't want to really spoil it because the entire game is just story, but it is a horrific kind of premise. If you were actually in this situation in real life, you'd probably be scared crapless, if you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
And it's very grim, okay?
What does that
I
mean?
am enjoying it. We're 2 hours in, and some grim stuff has happened, and the thing is that it
Whoa.
jumps between 2 timelines, so you don't know what's really going on or what happened in each timeline, and you're like, what's going on here or there?
Okay.
So I'm actually enjoying it a good amount, okay? I actually liked being immersed in a narrative game for the first time in a long time. Haven't really been immersed in a narrative-based game for a bit, so it was fun for that.
Sure.
But here's the fun thing.
Here's the fun thing. Now the fun begins.
Here's the fun thing. Here's the funny thing is what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm distracted by this pain. It really is hurting me.
Oh, poor baby.
The funny thing is
Oh,
this.
his poor little back.
Whenever I try a
poor
game
neck-
like this, you
neck,
get a mixed
back,
audience.
shoulder,
I would
arm.
argue that half the audience that was here last night was having a great time and was enjoying ourselves and immersed in a new kind of game.
what's also funny is that this metric is like a clown world metric because he measures support. Then when support's high, he says everyone loves it. But if support's low and he keeps playing the game, he'll mention the view count. Or if the view count's low and the support's low, he'll hide behind, I'm talking about the views. Yeah, the support was low, but that's like a double whammy. And this and that. But now he had a decent views, and now we're like, well, look at the support guys. But the support wasn't even that bad, I don't think. But whatever.
Game and its dark tones and stuff like that. And then the other half just sat here complaining this game sucks, it's boring, it's a walking simulator. And it's like, I remember the first game that anyone ever called a walking simulator from back in the day was a game called Gone Home, also an indie PC game. And at that time, no one really knew that game developer. It was kind of an unknown. Today, they're much more well-known.
Who are they?
But that was like the
They're
first
so
game where
well-known,
you really just walk around and you explore, and it has this eerie atmosphere and this ongoing mystery, and you have to read a lot of dialogue and hidden logs and journals and things to get the gist of what the story is. But by the end of the day, Gone Home was actually a really good game. All right? It was. It was actually quite entertaining and a fun game at the end. It was kind of like a laugh out loud ending because the whole game you're scared at stuff, and then at the end, nothing happens, okay?
Oh, man, what? Wait, what?
All right, it was. It was actually...
I don't think it was a laugh out loud ending. Am I wrong? I was pretty sure it was about, like, man... I think it had to do with like either someone coming out in the game, like, and then they're like with something like that. I think I had to do with the coming out story, and he said that it was a laugh out loud ending. That is wild to say.
Actually, quite entertaining.
He appreciates
and a fun
the art,
game at the end. It was kind of like a laugh out loud ending because the whole game you're scared at stuff, and then at the end nothing happens. Okay.
But was it even marketed as a horror game? I don't think it was. I don't know. Like I don't think it was a horror game, but whatever.
Ever since I played that, there's been all these different games. I don't think it was a laugh Everyone's gone to the Rapture.
Like,
remember that one? Hell, horror games like the whole Amnesia series, right? And they're all various different degrees.
It's funny he brought up Gone to the Rapture because I think he hated that. I think I vaguely remember he hated that game because there was nothing going on in the game.
Of thriller, mystery, horror. But they're all the same premise. You're walking around in first person, you're doing some dialogue, or you're reading, or you're trying to discover what's really going on in the story. I feel like this all started back in the day with Telltale games, but evolved into this first-person gameplay mechanic. Because with Telltale games, it's all, you're like playing the role of the characters and picking dialogue choices, right? While in these games, you're in first person, actually moving around, so you have more of an element of control, even though, admittedly, you probably don't, right? Like, you're probably still on rails, and you're in for the same ride as everyone else. It's not like you're really going to change the outcome of the game that much with how you play it.
Okay. But that's not what Mouthwashing was like marketed as.
Some people don't like narrative-based games, all right? But last night, I feel like I had a great time with this game. I got $50 of support playing Mouthwashing, okay? Now,
that's all you got? Oh, man.
I think you're starting to see the point that I made.
Like, Call of Duty only got 70, and he did not go nearly as hard on Call of Duty as he did for Mouthwashing. And it's a $20 difference. I mean, again, $20 is like... I think, personally, $30 is that is more substantial. Like, if it was $80, like, okay, you're close to 100. Like, okay. I mean, 70 isn't, like, nothing... But, like, when you're comparing 70 to 50, it's, like, not as, like, steep as 50 to 80. Like, 50 to 70, it's, like, you know, about the same. And you add them, it's, like, what, $120? $120? So it's, like, not that much. Like, at all. Like, and he's like, oh, we didn't have to go with both of them combined, but it's $120. That's like still over $100.
I make.
And this is also the guy that says, guys, let's just hit $100. Let's just do it, okay, guys? We're not gonna hit the goal. Let's at least hit $100.
Talk about playing indie games. It seems like increasingly there's more demand for me to play them especially as AAA releases are faltering and failing and not as good as they used to be. But it seems like when I play indie games, it's incredibly hard to get people to actually show.
But this dude cannot gauge anything. Again, Mouthwashing was like big, what, last year? Well, it was last year. It was like December. People were talking about like Mouthwashing. Didn't play it then. Played it now. Where everyone already moved on from Mouthwashing. Like even like, you know, there was a slight Twitter controversy because there was like a few people that were drawing like the characters and like weird like it was a weird thing. It was a weird like thing that I don't remember exactly. I just remember that like some people were arguing like, oh, they draw this character sexualized and they shouldn't because of this and that. But I think even that was like kind of like that drama died the day it happened, like because it was just like, okay, you know, whatever, and people moved on. You know, this game is not like hot anymore. It's not trending anymore or whatever. Like indie games, like you kind of have to like pick and choose the game. But this dude always approaches these games as, I am playing indie, thus it should be successful because everyone wants indie. But just because people want indie doesn't mean that they'll eat any indie game. Like if it's like saying I want food and then I give you fucking beans and you're like, I don't want beans. I want fucking celery. Like it's like, okay, well yeah, but I gave you food. It's like, you know, it's that kind of thing. Like, you don't know how I'm gonna react. He acts as if people should just be grateful that he played an indie game. That's what it is. That we should all be grateful that DSP graced us with an indie game, and we should just accept any indie game, any indie slop he plays. We should all like eat it and clap and say, yes, Phil, this is indie game. I love indie game. Not like thinking like, hey, I'm gonna play this indie game that's like, that looks interesting. It's just, well, this guy says it's interesting. I'm gonna play it like a month later.
Show up and engage and support with them, or support them, I should say. Again, sorry, I'm not talking properly today because of the pain in my shoulder. It's actually quite distracting me. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure.
So yeah, like
shoulder, neck,
last
arm.
night, I'm having a great time. Everyone's, you know, we're engaging, we're hanging out, we're talking about the game, and then there's just no support coming in.
Oh no.
And I'm like, you understand you want more of this, right?
Again, it's the same fallacy of like, Phil, you should change. I changed. Why don't you love me? But it's like, yeah, just because you change doesn't mean you change for the better or that this is the change I wanted to see. Like, yeah, I want him to play more indie games. The game he played may not be the indie game I want to see him play. Like, and then if I bring up an indie game, you'll say, well, I don't know, maybe. You guys weren't out there for the last one. So it's a never-ending loop of like, oh, I'll play an indie game. Oh, where's the support? Ask for another indie game. I can't. The last indie game didn't get any support, so I'm not playing indie games. I gotta be more careful. Hey guys, I'm gonna play an indie game, and it's a never-ending loop that goes over and over and over. And it's the same shit with Metroidvania. Remember when Metroid Dread saved Metroidvanias, and he was open to play more Metroidvanias? What happened to that? He pretended to play. He wanted to play Hollow Knight for like months, and then he never played it. And now he's like, well, I don't know if we can play it, guys. It's an indie. It's a Metroidvania. Those don't do very well. This dude is like, he wants to like be seen as a victim to play these games so that when he plays it, he'll get massive support and then brag about how, guys, we finally love indie games. I can play this. And then the next one comes out, I can't play this, guys. You guys don't like this. Or he'll be like skeptical about playing it, and then he'll use it against you if it doesn't like succeed.
I get it. You'll want more, but then you have to actually show up and support it.
Again, look how like the hurdle that indie games have to clear for him to play them. Meanwhile, he plays like any AAA slop that could get the same amount of support, and he'll still play it. Call of Duty got $70, and again, Call of Duty and Street Fighter 6 were both games he said in December, November that, you guys don't like multiplayer games. I think I'm gonna stop playing these games because like you guys are telling me and you're showing me with your support that you guys don't like multiplayer games. And he's now playing it. He said, I'm not playing Street Fighter 6. I'm skipping May. Fuck this game. To, well, maybe I'll play May. Maybe. Okay, guys, I'm playing Mei. Now he loves Mei, or Mai. He loves Mai. He loves her. Great character. And he's gonna continue playing Street Fighter 6 now. After saying he's gonna drop the game. But I guarantee, once people start to understand how the matchup, he's gonna go back and saying, fuck this game. Okay, guys, you're going back to the Marvel collection. And then when that runs its course, guys, back to Street Fighter 6. All these decisions mean nothing.
And that's not happening. You know, admittedly, sometimes with other games like Balatro, sometimes we have great nights, sometimes we don't. But we have had some great nights with Balatro, okay? But particularly last night, I was disappointed because here's a game that's unique, that's fun, that's interesting, that's indie. We're supporting it by playing it and giving it exposure. Seems like a great game.
Wait, what?
I was disappointed because here's a game that's unique, that's fun, that's interesting, that's indie. We're supporting it by
We're supporting it. Dude, you spent $0. $0 on it. And it's not that expensive. $0. And he's bragging about supporting the game by playing it. But I have a feeling this dude would say people who emulate games and play the games and tell people that these games are good, he would not consider that support unless it's to like dog on another company that's against emulation. Then he'll say it, but not when it's like there's no virtue to brag about.
By playing it and giving it exposure. Seems like a great game that a lot of people would enjoy, but where's the actual support for the string? Okay, so this.
So he's basically asking to get support for exposing a game, but Mouthwashing already got exposure. It had a whole like surge of people doing fan art of it, playing the game, talking about the game, and this dude. And when he talks about even games he likes, it's just I like game. It's robust fun. Like, he really does not sound like a fan of anything. Like, at all. He tells us he loves Street Fighter, but it's like, oh, I like Street Fighter because, like he basically played it, in my opinion, because he wanted to get into wrestling without doing the physical labor of doing wrestling. So Street Fighter is, like, the best way to do that. I could be a wrestler without having to go in a ring and fighting people. I can just... It's nothing like that. That's why he acted like such a fucking wrestler the whole time in the FGC, because this dude is such a fucking lazy person. He has no genuine opinion. Like, he liked Metaphor, didn't want to play the game, but the only reason why he liked Metaphor was, it's like Persona. But that's all he talks about. That's the only talking point he has on Metaphor. It's Persona with a twist. Nothing else. The story, well, story interesting. Story good. Story interesting. What about the story? What's interesting about the story? What about the characters? Did you like any of the characters? They're robust and meaningful.
This sadly makes me second guess my desire to want to play a bigger variety of games. If the games that...
One indie game. Dude, he barely even plays indie games. And he was only considering Mouthwashing at the time. He wasn't, like, committed to it. He got the game for free, played it, and that is enough to sway him. Like, 2 months after it was trending. And he's like, why is no one talking about this game? That's old news by this point. Like, and this dude will say, like, and you know, as time will go on after he plays this game, he will eventually go back and tell us how indie games are flavor of the month kind of games. But this is anything in life. Anything in media has a shelf life. Things may persist and have cult followings and this and that, but that's like people who are dedicated to the thing that they love that talk about this thing constantly. But this dude wants mainstream appeal, wants people to like get this. The stuff he's looking for is just generally not at all what people like look for when they play an indie game or anything. But this dude has no opinion on anything. He compared indie games to a buffet where you don't know what is good. But it's like that is any video game. but he likes AAA because it's basically a very like narrow focused tunnel vision of like, I know this will be at least good because like it had a higher budget and basic baby man thinking, but it's just this dude keeps talking about video games as an art form, and it just, there's no way you could think of video games are an art form and believe it genuinely, and then talk about the art form as just a slot machine. Like, and that's not to say that every video game is art or anything like that, but if he's talking about these like this umbrella term of video games or art, you cannot be talking like this about video games, basically. And Mouthwashing is very clear, like a piece of art because it does things deliberately in this game. I played very little of it. I didn't get far into it. I don't want to go back to it, but there's stuff that's done very deliberately. Like, oh, it's this long because telling a concise story. That's the focus of it. And this and that. It's not like a game made to be a video game. Like, it's not like, oh, this is Street Fighter or this is Guilty Gear where we're just doing like fighting and or whatever. Like, there is a point to it. Like, there's a lot of discussion to have that's devoid when DSP talks about it because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He boiled this down to fucking support.
That get the level of support that I need to operate a business are games that are AAA big releases, then I need to play those. You get it? Like, I get it. Like, people complain, oh, you always play this game in this series, and you again, always play the same.
This is a short length game. He had streams. Guys, I need to blow up my keyboard. There's like, but this dude will say like, oh my god, I'm like spacing. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? No. Oh my god. What was I saying? Whatever. Let me hear it. Maybe I'll
the same
remember.
Game here. Why aren't you branching out? Well, I am.
Oh, I am. Yeah, here. Let's rewind back.
Like, I get it. Like, people complain, oh, you always play this game in this series, and you always play the same.
Oh, yeah. It's a short game. It's a short game. And he had, like, streams in the past where games that were longer than Mouthwashing had fewer streams that were supportive. And he was fine with beating it. But this game has one slow stream, and then the next stream he's beating it, and he's bellyaching about the support. And he thinks that that's representative of every indie game. Like, that is insane at that point. With that logic, right? He got $300 playing My Shiranui on the first stream, and got like $200 on the late stream. I guess that's bad in DSP terms, but he got the first stream was $300. So does that mean every fighting game is gonna be supportive? Well, these would tell you no, because not every stream can be that way. I can't play fighting games, this and that, but one indie game gets $50. Well, I can't play any other indie game, guys. One stream, it failed, and this kind of sets the way for some cuck to then come in on the last stream of Mouthwashing, wail out, and then suddenly we'll pretend as if we love indie games if we're lucky, because he may say, well, I think this guy's supported because it's the last stream and this and that, because guys, like, the first stream, which is the majority of the game, did not get a lot of support, and this and that. It is such clown nonsense. The shit he says and how he runs his business and how he talks about it. And then he wonders why, like, people dog on him for this kind of stuff.
The same game here. Why aren't you branching out? Well, I am. But the fact is that when I try to branch out, it doesn't always work out. And here's a case in point.
Again, this is like, you change, but you don't get the reward immediately. You're like, huh? Dude, I changed. It's like, yeah, you're not going to, like, get rewarded the day of. Like, you have to keep grinding and doing other kinds of stuff. Like, it's really like you pick up a video game. You pick, like, this dude talks. I have like a lot of things going on. I'm just firing off on all cylinders right now. You gotta deal with that. But this dude literally was telling us that gamers are entitled and they have no patience and this and that. This dude plays one indie game and is like, where's my instant gratification, guys?
Okay? So I'm not sure what to do to remedy the situation. It just seems like support is kind of all over the place. Like, for example, I played Indiana Jones, and there were nights when we played Indiana Jones and we far exceeded the goals and did 2-3 goals in one stream. There were
And
other
then he
times when
would sit there and tell us, I can't predict when I can hit the goals, guys.
I played
Okay.
Indiana Jones and it was on the slower side. So, is it necessarily the game, or is it just who can actually show up for a stream? Because
And the
honestly,
thing is, like, this thought process, it is very clear that he wants it so that he could easily uh predict and control when money's coming in. That's all this is. Like, he wants to find a way to like understand when they're gonna give them money, but you can't really understand how humans work because we're spontaneous creatures. Like, you don't know how people are gonna react in that kind of way, because especially with money, because a lot of things are like volatile. Even right now, things are very volatile with money. So people are gonna either be more, they're either not gonna give a fuck because they may have a stable job, or they can be more frugal because they don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? Dude, we're not that far
it
in
is a
this
good
fucking
variety of people who
video,
support my
and
content. It's not what the
dude,
detractors say
we're
because they're morons.
we're like
They're under the impression
here.
one person supports all my
It's
content. I'm not kidding
crazy.
you. They're that brain dead crazy.
And we're already talking about trolls, dude. This video is gonna be 10 hours long.
Is a good variety of people who support
I
my
may have to do
content.
some parts.
It's not what the detractors say because they're morons. They're under the impression one person supports all my content. I'm not kidding you.
Dude, one person gave him $125 to hit the goal last night when he was playing Street Fighter 6. It's not literally one individual person, but there's at least like a percentage of moments where individuals have either helped enough to hit the goal or to get close to hitting the goal. Like, it's just very clear. Like, someone could tip like $100, and then like, a few other people may jump in to then hit 100 to 150. Like, come on.
They're that brain dead crazy.
We're that brain
They're in
dead,
this weird
guys.
cult. That legitimate, but
We're in a cult. We're in a cult, guys. This is the cult of hate. Ah, yes.
legitimately believes one person impersonates like 40, 50, 60 different accounts.
Dude, this thing, it's a pointless thing to bring up, because this is proof that it's not one person. It's solely based on emails. Dude, anyone can make, like, I can make 100 emails if I had nothing going on in my life. I could make 20. I can make infinite emails. What is to stop me from making emails? Like, it's not that hard. So it's very easy. And I guess you could say, well, because if he goes any further, he will then announce that he gets credit information. But the thing is, the way that he counts goals and the way people go whale out, it could simply be make sock accounts to whale out in like website based revenues, like super chats, subs, and memberships. Like, it's not. There's no point in like going down. Meanwhile, this dude will tell you, you don't know what I see. You don't know what I could be lying. You don't know who's tipping him. And that's true. So if that's true, if you don't know who's tipping him, who is to say it's not one person? Who is to say that? If we don't know who's tipping Phil, how do we know it's not two people or one person? Like, it's really a nothing argument to make, and it's all speculative anyway. But even if we take it out at face value, that let's just assume every name is a different person. If it's anonymous, each anonymous tip is someone else. It's still not a lot of people that support him anyway. Iron Cook Sakai has not shown up in like weeks, and it's not that he hasn't hit the goal at all without Iron Cook Sakai, but the frequency has definitely dipped in comparison. And that's not really meaning anything, in my opinion. Iron the guy could always come back. He could always come back. He's not. The possibility of him coming back is not nil. It's not zero. It's more than zero.
Accounts and comes to my streams and just supports this. It's the same person doing it under different name.
The thing is, he says this, but he tells us matter of factly that he knows that all these troll accounts are all sock accounts. He knows those are socks, but the ones who tip him, they're not socks. Okay, dude.
Names. I wish I was making that up, but that's how fucking nuts they are. That's how far gone they are. They actually believe that.
That's how that's how far gone we are, guys. We're really far gone.
Yeah, I will admit, are there people who are regulars who come by and every once in a while will drop a big contribution and it helps the stream out a ton? Absolutely. Is that what happens every single stream? Absolutely not. Not at all. That's, there is a good variety of people that come by and support over different games, different times, and sometimes they'll show up for a game, sometimes they won't. So, last night, was this simply a situation where the people who were supportive couldn't show up, not enough people outside of them were interested in this indie game? Was it just a bad night in general? Because this happens. Some people says it seems like Monday nights are always your worst.
And this is where it gets clown world again, I guess. I mean, this is we're in clown world hell at this point, but if the case is that it was a one-off or whatever, like the thing he's saying, what was the fucking point of this entire segment but to instill fear or concern in an audience to then say, oh shit, we should support indie games? That's what this is about. He says this as a, like, guys, like, I'm just saying this to spread awareness that I not hit the goal on the indie stream. Okay, but you don't think your viewers have eyes and they can deduce that 50 out of 150 is not hitting the goal? I mean, and you may let's assume it's that one-off stream or whatever, but we're panicking before anything else, then saying, guys, I'm not panicking. I'm just saying this as a matter of fact. Don't worry, though. Like, what is this? What is the point? Like, there's no reason to talk about this. Like, this is why you don't see, like, anyone in any business come out and say, guys, we're not selling the... Like, does Tim Apple come out and say, guys, we're not selling the iPhone 17, it is not selling. Guys, I thought you loved phones. Don't you love phones? Guys, you're making phones and you're not buying the phones. So, like, that's telling me that you guys may not want phones. I'm not gonna freak out. The iPhone 16 may not have been the seller we thought it was, but maybe it was a one-off deal. Maybe the 17 is gonna, like, blow your socks off, guys. Or maybe the 18 will. We'll wait till the iPhone 18, but guys, we need to sell the 17 now. Like, no one does this at all. And then he says, oh, I'm being honest. Like, it really is. Like, he views being honest as being negative and being, like, doomer, and then being a liar is being positive. So, if you don't acknowledge that, oh, the indie game did not get support, and you're putting that, and you just don't acknowledge that, that's lying. But that's just not acknowledging it. But this dude, like, can't help himself because he wants to, like, get you to think about other indie games he may play, and you must support.
Worst? I don't know. Are they? Because that's the thing. I don't really care or track. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not tracking, oh, is this one particular day every week?
I don't track. Like, you fucking track. When you talk about patterns in, like, support, he literally counts how many streams he did not hit something. Even before he did his goals hit nonsense, he used to just tell you straight up we didn't hit the goal in this amount of time, guys. We didn't do this. Guys, by this time, we would do this, man. Or this and that. And now he's selling us. I don't keep track, guys. I don't.
Week, the slowest day. I don't look at that at all. But when this happens, right, it makes me think, should I listen to what seems to be a vocal minority? Meaning the people who want indie games more may very well be loud and demanding it, but may not be the crowd that's there to support the streams behind the scenes.
Dude,
a lot of
he
people
still does not know or understand the concept of when people suggest him stuff that doesn't lock in support. Like, it's every time people suggest him a game, like, he will say that, like, when it's a game he doesn't want to play. Well, guys, you say this, but you're not going to support it. But then when he decides to play the game that they suggest in any way that they get him to play the game, he will say, I'm doing what you're telling me you didn't support. Just because they tell you that they want to see something doesn't mean that they want to support it. Like, or that they're gonna support it or they'll support it immediately. Like, it's again, it's the human factor. Come on. As they say.
A lot of people come by and they'll do a tip here or there, they'll drop some memberships, they'll do a big super chat, and then we don't see them for weeks on end. And that's fine. They're the silent majority.
But then he says this, but then there are also moments where if he's not hitting the goal, he'll say, guys, just hit the goal, guys, come on. I know you may not like the game, but just hit the goal. And it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Majority. Get it? The majority of people who are watching the content and possibly supporting it are not the people who are here all the time talking and asking for stuff. So, like, here's the thing. I want to play more games like Mouthwashing. I like this game. I would like to finish it later this week.
Don't.
I would like to do more variety of games.
When the next indie game that gets, like, some traction that people may think DSP will like the game, see how fast he plays it. And see his reaction. It'll be one of two. He'll either say, no, indie games don't do well, or he's going to say, well, guys, Mouthwashing didn't do well, so I'm not going to play it. Or he's going to beg that people will support it, or donate it, or whatever the fuck. Like, it's going to be, like, all these, like, terms and conditions to get to it.
Games that aren't necessarily 40-plus hour commitments of my time. I feel like doing a better variety of shorter games actually fits my stream format better than say, oh, I have to play this game now for 2 months, right? If anything, I wish that I would play more games like this because I do feel like this would be more beneficial to the business instead of just being committed to games.
Why didn't he play it when it was trending? Like, a lot of people are playing it when it was hot.
Are going to take so long to finish. If we could beat a game in a couple nights and then we could jump in and out of more games and get more exposure to more games, I think it works, right? But I need people to show up.
It's like the same conundrum with the Game Pass streams. Remember the Game Pass nights that he was hyping up? Oh, guys, you get 2 Game Pass nights, and then we can, like, play the game and drop it and move to something else, and this, that. We never did that again. That came and went, and we never talk about it ever again.
Show up and support them. So last night, all right, after thinking about this, I'm going to chalk it up to a one-night deal. That's not a big deal. All right? I am going.
He's going to chalk it up to one night. This dude had this big thing to just come to the conclusion, well, it was just one night, guys. He had other streams, he played other games, they had one night of bad support, and he barely really talked about it, unless there was, like, some circumstance he had to. But this he had to, apparently. And then says, well, it was one night. Dude, it's a short game. Who cares about hitting the goal for a short game? You wanna know why he cares? Because he wants to hit this goal by Friday. He needs to hit the goal by Friday.
I am going to finish Mouthwashing later this week. But when I actually stream it again, which it looks like it's going to likely be Thursday night, I need people to actually show up and engage and support with the second stream of Mouthwashing. All right?
For what?
So I hope
For
that
what,
you
bitch?
will. Especially those people who claim, oh, I like this game or whatever.
What if they
Then
don't want to
please
support?
support it.
What?
I want more variety.
Now, this dude said like, "Oh, support could be many things," because a few people would ask him about, you know, what if I can't support you financially or whatever the fuck? He would tell you, "Well, you could just watch the stream and that'll be enough, man. Just like the stream, man." So let's say that they show up and they like the stream, and that's it, right? That's all they wanted to do to support because they want to save money for eggs. Uh, what do you do then? Oh, well, you gotta support the stream. Okay.
I want shorter games from smaller studios to be part of my rotation. I want to be able to jump in and out of games between big games rather than it just be big game,
Dude,
big game.
Go back to when he played the Sonic game. What was it? What was that Sonic game? It was the one that people thought that was made by the Sonic Mania devs, but it wasn't. What was it? Sonic game, Sonic Man. I don't know, whatever. Fuck it. When that game came out, he was like mad it was short and said it was a ripoff. I mean, maybe he also brought up the price, and that's whatever. But he did not like that it was a short game, and now he's all about games that are short. Okay.
Game, big game, big game. I like to have these things to break it up in the middle. I think that it works for variety purposes. In addition, this should be said. Indie games, all right, aren't necessarily games that are getting the giant levels of known exposure.
Oh my god, what are we doing? Why?
Yeah, I want to see my camera blinked over there. I want to make sure it was still working.
Okay.
So, for example, I would bet.
By the way,
that
I don't understand. I want someone to explain this to me.
Exposure.
So, there's so many times he would do this, and then that would be like the background. And he would say, "Oh, I mean, yeah, wow," like as if it was a mistake or whatever. Like, why go through the trouble of adding this to OBS if he doesn't like want to use this like at all? Like, what's the point? Why do this? Why use this?
Mouthwashing, then say, have played. I want to make sure it was still working. So, for example, I would bet that far less people have played Mouthwashing than say have played an Assassin's Creed major release that's going to come out.
Guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. I think more people have played Call of Duty than No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again. I know, shocker. Right? Am I right?
To come out. Or, you see, it's hard because there's so few AAA games that are good now, I can't even really call any out. Like, for example, let's say the next God of War was coming out next month. Tons of people would play that, so we all know what it is. Versus Mouthwashing, it's more of an idea where you're going to get exposed to something new and different. You're going to get more of a shocking...
And I kind of hate when he talks about this because he doesn't want to do this. Like, let's say God of War does come out, Mouthwashing 2 comes out. Guess what game he's going to be playing? Not Mouthwashing 2.
Surprise and variety when you watch these kind of small-time game streams than if you're, say, just watching a game that you know everyone's playing, right? So, hopefully, all right, this will work out. Hopefully, when I go to finish Mouthwashing later this week, we will turn it around and we will actually hit the goal that night. And that will give me more confidence in playing these kind of indie games in the future. I'm going to chalk it up to like a one-off night that was off, all right? But if I start to see a pattern, if we play these indie games and people don't show up and support them, then I'm not going to be able to play them. And that's sad. I want to play them. I feel like they do fit in there, right?
I mean, he's done talking about indie games.
Going along that same vein, obviously, guys, We want to keep the momentum rolling this week. Yesterday was a road bump. It really was. Yesterday was a
Oh my
bump that
God,
slowed
road
us
bumps.
down, and now we have to get that momentum
Oh
back.
God.
So
God damn.
let's, on this very stream of this podcast and Dark Souls with mods, let's hit the goal. That way we get to 93. Let's get the momentum rolling back in the right direction so that we can get this marathon going later this week, okay? So what I like to do, we have a lot of people who contributed. I want to shout out all your contributions right now.
All right. I think I'm gonna take a little intermission from this so I can uh get some lunch. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, everyone. As you can see, I'm now fully prepared to watch more garbage. I will, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's how we roll here. Oh, wait, wrong window.
Right now, see where we're at, and then we can move on to some other topics.
I think we can move on from this. I'm done with this. 38, 33. We're going to lolcow. I feel like all the rest of this will all like seamlessly blend together. But we'll see what happens. So that's fun. Jeez, I can't believe it. Look how long this video is gonna be. That we're an hour and 11 minutes, and we are now at the lolcow live mark, so we're almost halfway through the first podcast. But we got another podcast to go through.
Should appear on lolcow live. First off, this is funny because people keep asking me questions like this. Will I be on lolcow live? When am I going to be on lolcow live? All right. First of all, you may not realize this. I'm not part of lolcow live.
Yeah, that's why they're asking, are you going to be on it, or if he wants to be on it, whatever. Like, that's basically what they're asking. He could say, I'm interested in it, and then, like, go from there, but,
I turned that, well, I didn't turn the offer down. I never was even formally made the offer, but I'm not part of that show. It's not like I can say, hey.
It's basically semantics, but he was made an offer. He didn't, like, get a contract, basically, but he was asked to be on it, and instead of just saying no, he didn't take it seriously and teased Keem all the way through. Said on the Keem interview that he basically was, like, teasing him about it and pretending as if it was hard for him to contact anyone. Like, he did all this stuff to troll Keem, but he just didn't take it seriously. And he's like, well, it's not a real offer, man. And it's like, well, you never really, like, took the next step, because usually you could think of it like Keem asked him to be on lolcow live, blah, blah, the way he did. DSP could then have just simply emailed him or DM'd him saying, hey, I heard that you wanted me to be on your podcast. Like, what's it about? Whatever. And then go from there. But instead, he just was like, oh, he could email. He just keeps like, email me. Instead of him just, reaching out. Like, why didn't he do that? Because he didn't care. Like, it's kind of like annoying at this point that he keeps pretending as if he never was given the offer. Like, Keem reached out. He doesn't take the offer seriously because he thought the way he did it was annoying and dumb, and anyone could think that all they want, but usually they would just say no and move on and not, like, do whatever the fuck he was doing.
I think I'm going to be on lolcow live today, and then all of a sudden I'm just on the show. That's not how it works. What happens is, like, if someone wants you to be on a show, they'll reach out and contact you and be like, hey, we're interested in having you on our show. Would you like to be a guest? And then you can either accept or you can decline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. But then, like, they asked him and he didn't really do that. Like, what entails them asking him to be on? Like, it's just, like, nonsense, because he says, well, they need to ask me. Well, Keem asked years ago, And instead of like saying yes or no, he was like, well, email me. And he was like, oh, okay. Okay, email me, Keem. And that's it. That's all he did, basically.
That's not how the show works. You get it? Like,
get it?
Now, let me put it this way. If there was a reason that I felt there was a huge reason or benefit that if I appeared on that show.
Okay, again, see? This is what I'm saying. He can't say no. Unless like it's something he truly doesn't want to do or whatever. But he won't say no. Like there's very like there's exceptions to be fair, but he can't say no with anything. So he can't say no, he won't be on Lollcow Live because he wants to keep the possibility open, even though he doesn't want to do it. It's one of those things where it's like, the real answer is no, but I don't want to be seen negatively or have to explain my answer, so I'm just going to say maybe.
Oh, that
like,
it would
it's
either
kind of like
help
when you're on trial or you're in a disposition, whatever the fuck, deposition, and, you know, the best you could really say is, I don't know. Like, that's what this is. It's like he's in a courtroom and he's just forced to say, I don't know, basically.
help me, or it would help the viewers, or it would help the community, or hell, it would help that show or whatever. I wouldn't be against reaching out to someone like Boogie or Wings or Keemstar and say, hey, can I be on the show? But
oh, so he wants to do it because if he helps the show, he could then brag how he helped Keem get attention on his show or whatever the fuck. The other help is if he goes on and he gets another surge of popularity, a la Kino Casino. So it's just is it a quid pro quo at that point? Like, it's really, that's all it is. It's just which is like whatever. I mean, that's kind of how everyone is when they want to do something or they go on another person's show, basically. But I mean, he says this, and it just doesn't make him look like a down to earth guy. Because the other aspect that people do shows is because they may like the host and they may want to like hang and shoot the shit.
I haven't really thought about it. I don't see like what kind of a benefit there would be if I were to appear on their show. Quite frankly, I don't feel like there's any real crossover here, right? Like,
how is there no crossover? Dude, you try to get Boogie and Wings on your show. You had Keemstar on your show, dude. There's no crossover. Dude, you talk about them sometimes. Come on.
I don't think there's anything going on there between us, right? What exactly crossover would there be? Like, the biggest thing that would happen would be if I played Wings in a game or something. And I would be down for that, but it sounds like they're just all talk and no action, right? All bluster, but
all
no
bluster.
actual.
I hate how this dude talks. It's like the same shit I hate about like in his politics show and his political opinions, where it's like, I wish Trump would just keep his mouth shut. He's just a loud mouth, and this that. It's like, dude, like, oh man, come on.
We're actioning of anything. I've not been contacted by anyone. Apparently they've talked about it on their show, having an event where I play Wings in a game, but nothing's happened with it. So it sounds to me like it's just nonsense that they spout for their show, and they have no plans to do anything.
Okay, no plans.
So,
all right.
So
then I got a question. If that's what he sees, he wants to play games with Wings or whatever, they want to play games with him, why doesn't he reach out to them then? Like, if he knows that that's what they're trying to do, why doesn't he, like, talk to them about it? Right? Correct? But he said back when he was dealing with Wings and Boogie that he has no interest in dealing with them because they're hard to work with. But guess what? That's not the real reason. He just didn't want to do interviews anymore. Again, it's very funny to me that the last interview was with Tolomeo, and all it was another adventure to say I'm sorry or to like talk about trolls or whatever the fuck. After that, he just immediately dropped the interviews. And he hid behind, it's too much work, man. But it wasn't, because it's just you're just talking to them through DMs, and whatever, you move on if they're not coming on. But he pretended as if it was such a big deal when in reality he just didn't want to do them anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't really see any point to talking about lolcow Live because I have no association.
He doesn't want to talk about that,
right?
What? Okay.
If there was ever a reason for me to do it,
This dude
I was contacted about it, and have some kind of a crossover event, it's a maybe. It's not like it used to be, where it used to be absolutely positively no. Like, that's not my answer.
This is so dumb. Just on this level of very simple bullshit. DSP made it a matter of principle to not be on lolcow Live. Literally made it a matter of principle to not do the show. Oh, lolcow Live is like the Anna Nicole Smith show. People died. They will die. This is bad. Bad content. Bad. He made it a matter of principle. And now suddenly, he's not opposed to it. Because the reason why he didn't want to do it is because he just didn't want to deal with the drama of being attacked, because he was afraid that he was going to be attacked by Keemstar, which, this dude claims he watched these Keemstar documentaries and gave a fuck and all this stuff, and he would kind of understand that it may be a volatile situation to even talk to Keemstar anyway, because there are moments where Keemstar was cool with someone, and then he would go around and still shit on them anyway. Like, he doesn't think that could happen again to him. Oh, because it's water under the bridge. But the thing he brings up as, oh, I had beef with you, Keem, was nonsense. A genuine nonsense. Oh, you talked about my fapping. But Phil, you reached out to them to talk to them again about it. And it's such nonsense. And all of it was all like hidden behind him pretending as if he gave a fuck about the people who also had issues with Keemstar. Did he give a fuck? No! Because this dude is a piece of shit, like, bitch. A piece of shit bitch. Like, it is insane that he goes on these innocuous rants, and there's a lot to go into just because of how dumb this dude is and how much he virtue signals. Like, when people talk about other people virtue signaling, this is what they're talking about. People like this, where they'll pretend as if they give a fuck about a cause, and then when it doesn't benefit them anymore, they suddenly just don't give a fuck anymore. Like, it is a you can find numerous examples of this, and just in politics alone, where people pretend that this is the biggest issue that matters to them, but then once it doesn't benefit them, they move on. And it's like, what the fuck? And this is the most DSP example of it. It's just, oh yeah, Keemstar is a bad person. lolcow Live is bad. Oh, well, now we're cool. Well, I'm not gonna say no.
Anymore, only because I do have more open horizons and considerations now. When it comes to this kind of stuff,
the open horizons are the shows he shat on and said that they're drama. Like, the only show he tried to do that wasn't even related to drama was the wrestling podcast, and that too devolved into drama. Why didn't he do an interview with people that didn't deal with drama? Like, it's funny. I'm sorry. But it's funny to me that this dude wanted to pretend. Oh my god, hold up. Sorry about that. That was like bothering the shit out of me. But this dude teased about wanting to do non-drama related interviews. And one of the people he wanted to interview was, theoretically, I think people suspected Justin Wong or maybe Max. He did try with Max and didn't go anywhere. He didn't get anywhere with him. But he might have tried Justin Wong, I think, because Justin Wong also said no because he dogged on VTubers. So that pissed him off, obviously. But he also tried to get Arturo, then decided, well, Arturo's going through a lot of drama right now, which, does he not know? Does he not care what Arturo is, like, kind of, like, spreading on his own fucking Twitter account? Like, does he not have an opinion on that? Like, I mean, come on now, dog. It's wild.
It's just that it has to be something that's mutually beneficial. I don't want it to be one-sided where one side benefits or the other side benefits. It has to be something that everyone's going to work out and get something.
But he just said, well, I would do it if it would help me or them, this and that. Now it's, well, as long as it doesn't help more than just me or more than just them or whatever the fuck. In reality, he just wants it to help him, because then he can say, well, I helped them too because of X, Y, and Z. It's easy for him to say that, but if it does help them and not him, it's hard for him to gauge any positive. Like, okay,
Get something out of, right?
right?
So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But no, it's not like I could snap my fingers and now I'm on Lolcow Live now. Watch this. Look, I'm on the show. Here I am. What are you talking about? I don't run that show. You know what I mean?
But you can talk to them. You have a line of communication with them. Like, it is so funny to me that when he had Keem on the show, and around this time, by the way, he said, well, you see, like, they go on my show, like, he said that with Kino Casino. I show up on their show, then they show up on my show, then, like, I show up on their show, like, it's, scratch their back, scratch my back kind of thing. Keem did him a favor by going on his dumbass podcast, and DSP is not, like, really doing anything to be on their show at all. And to a point, DSP is quite known to get off on power trips because this dude has a fetish on many things. But it would not surprise me if he purposely is pretending as if he's busy and this and that, but not really wanting to try to be on their show because he likes the idea that I got Keem on my show and he can't get me on his show. Deep down, I think he's getting off to that. He's probably like telling Kat every day, Keem wants me to play games with wings, and I'm not gonna do it, but I got Keem on my show. And I don't get a lot of views. I got Keem on my show, Kat. Is that funny? And she's just like counting the hours until he goes back to his little office to watch WWE. All right, let's see. Next timestamp.
So that's it.
Is 45:15.
Then support in other ways from time to time. So in reality, I have a large audience. It's just that they're split between the content that I make. So that's much better than saying I have a core audience that only tunes in when I play one type of game.
But you can grow that audience.
Here's the danger of that.
But the thing is, you can grow that audience. Like, his example is really dented and really stupid, and we'll get to that. Like, I didn't care about the other half. The other half is like the same rhetoric you've heard 1,000 times. Oh, I have all these different kind of audiences that show for different things. But it's like, you go to his streams and it's like the same people who watch it.
All right, allow me to explain. If you only do one thing and you're known for...
calling? Oh, it's Bam. Probably telling me, oh, you want a trip to Vegas? Want to go to Vegas right now? No.
Only one thing. Then if you ever feel like you're getting stale or you're getting stagnant or
you're
playing, if you only do one thing and you're known for only one thing, then if you ever feel like you're getting stale or you're getting stagnant or you're getting burnt out and you're getting tired of doing that thing and you want to change that thing and experiment with other stuff, 9 times out of 10, you fail and you get stuck.
But the thing that's like ridiculous about this is it is a completely different situation to who he's going to compare himself. He's a Let's Player. He plays games and this and that. But there are streamers that, yeah, sure, like, people may show up to a streamer who does art just to see them do art, and then they see then play a video game they may tune out. Like, that happens. It happens to a few people, whatever. But you can't really, like, control that. And you can always get, like, other people to watch, whatever. But it's, I don't know how to describe it. Like, whatever. Okay.
Stuck doing the one thing you're known for. I'm going to give you a couple of really big examples here.
Big examples.
Angry Video Game Nerd, the Nostalgia Critic, and Angry Joe.
Honestly, the only one that was worth mentioning in that lineup was Nostalgia Critic. He is the only one, because AVGN never said he was burnt out on doing the nerd. He just literally got caught up with life because he has a wife and kids. Like, that changes a lot of aspects on things, and it was just like, he can't keep doing a lot of planning like this. Like, and there is a degree, I feel, where there is that I feel like a lot of people like kind of chalk it up as assuming that James has no input at all in the Angry Video Game Nerd, like, at all, and I don't think that's necessarily true. I think he has some input. It may not be as much as it was when he started, but I don't think he has zero input. You may need to put more input, maybe that's like, because I think a lot of people are like accusing him of plagiarism, or the people that are writing the scripts right now like are plagiarizing their work, whatever, and that's like, basic criticism, but that's like something. But again, the James has a different life situation. He never once said like, oh well, I hated doing the nerd or anything like that. Joe, I have not. I don't really watch Angry Joe. Maybe he complained to some aspect of doing reviews, but he has done other stuff as well. Like, I don't think it's nearly to the point of like they said that they hated what they were doing. It's very like contextual.
Every one of those creators, all right, got known
And
for
again,
doing.
these are 3 creators. There are other people who started on the internet who have ventured out to do other stuff and they've been successful with that other stuff. Like, again, to bring up Mega 64 again, someone may say, like, well, Theo, they said in like November last year that that they're not making as much as they were, and they were about to shut down and this and that, but they were basing it off of like merch sales and just views. But they have found other ways to like kind of like turn that around. I mean, they got a huge boost in support during that period, certainly. But then they did the MLK stream where they had Rocco like locked in a room, and that also was a success for them, to a point. So like they didn't sit there and say, oh well, we must go back and do what we did before. They still like tried other stuff. They tried other things after the fact. It's just everything is different. Everyone has done different things in their career, and they've grown and adapted. There will always be failure stories and success stories. You can't really predict flawlessly that that's the case. Like, Simpsons have been around for years, and a lot of people are like over it. Some people like the newer seasons. Some people have come around to them. Whatever. I mean, I've also seen that with Saturday Night Live. Surprisingly enough, that some people have come around on that. I saw one recent modern sketch from Saturday Night Live that did make me laugh. To be fair, it was the one about this guy being bald, and that was that I thought was funny. But other than that, it's like whatever. But that goes on long enough, and people are already like sick of it. But yet it still continues. It still finds success in other ways. You can't really predict that everyone, if they try something different, it's gonna fail, or they'll do the same and it's gonna be a success or a failure or whatever. Like it's like the entertainment industry, or this industry in of itself, streaming is a volatile business. It's not stable. You can't predict what you can and can't do with the content you're making.
Doing a certain kind of content. The Angry Video Game Nerd for doing the AVGN character videos and reviews. The Nostalgia Critic for doing the Nostalgia Critic style review. The Angry Joe for doing his big, crazy, highly produced, edited game reviews with skits and all of this stuff. They're very successful when they focus in on the stuff they're successful for. But if they try to veer out of those lanes, they fail every time.
But James still does videos. What was it? Like, he talks about movies as well. I don't remember the name of those videos. I don't really care for that, but he does those. He does those videos, and he does other stuff. I mean, again, James doesn't really care that much in the scheme of things, because he wanted the Angry Video Game Nerd to kind of be like his bread and butter, basically. And he got big enough where he was able to like make a living off it to a degree. He has a family, and now he's just like, oh, we'll just like, I'll just act it, and someone else can write it, and then that's it. You know, that's all I really need, because I have a family now, and I don't have time to really do this, and that's fine for me. Like, that's what he's doing. Like, I'm sure if James wanted to do more, I'm sure his family would want him to, but he might be happy with what he's doing. Again, like, there was this one video that came out like last year or the year before that was kind of like explaining the Angry Video Game Nerd's like career, and this video, I will say, had the weirdest reaction. I don't think I've seen. I was expecting either people saying, "Wow, AVGN is canceled. He sucks now," or people are gonna say like, "This guy's video sucks ass and he's a terrible person." But it came out as like, okay, I mean, this video exists. Okay, like, it was very like, it was whatever. But the one thing I saw come out of it mostly was you get a bigger sense that like James keeps everything separate. Like, you don't really know like how involved in these controversies is James really is. Like, to a point where it's very clear that, hey, the Angry Video Gamer stuff is literally just, I'm uploading these videos and that's all I'm doing, and everything else, outside of that, I'm not gonna talk. He doesn't like make personal tweets, and he doesn't do anything personal. Like, and I don't think it's like out of like fear of being canceled or anything. I just don't think he cares. He's like, oh, I mean, I just want to upload videos and that's it. That's probably the kind of person he is. Like, he keeps it like minimal, because I think I think it's clear that he wants to keep his own like perception, to be honest, with things. If there's something that he's not aware of, it's easy to assume he's unaware of it. Like, when people are accusing of the AVGN skits and stuff that he was with being plagiarized or whatever, it's very easy it's more believable that he probably didn't know than, oh, James knew when he did this thing, because there's no instance of James doing anything that's like dishonest. Meanwhile, if when there's controversy around DSP, it's very hard to take DSP seriously, because there's so many instances where you can go back to him and you saw that he lied about something. So I don't think it's fair for DSP to bring up the Angry Video Game Nerd to prove that, oh, they ventured out, they fail, when that never was the case for him. He still did other videos even during the heyday of AVGN. Like, there was not a time where he was like, guys, I'm trapped being the nerd. I want to stop being the nerd. It's like, he just does it because, why not? Whatever the fuck. At least, as I said, everything I'm saying, this is just out of my perspective of everything. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong about everything, but whatever, right?
Every time. No exaggeration. Angry Video Game Nerd expressed over a decade ago his desire to quit, but the only thing he makes that people will watch is the Angry Video Game Nerd videos. And even if he tries to do something bigger as AVGN, like a movie, even that flopped.
The movie got crowdfunded. Now, you could argue that, like, well, that's crowdfunding. They didn't know the quality of it, and after the fact, it bombed. Whatever. But James made it very obvious and clear that it was a dream to make a movie. He just wanted to make a movie. Like, that was like a passion project. He didn't give a fuck about the sales or anything like that. Like, say whatever about it, but at the end of the day, he just wanted to make a movie. That's all he wanted to do, and he made a movie, and that's what he wanted to do. And he's like, "Well, see, the movie bombed." That wouldn't matter if he cared. Like if he, which he didn't. Like he made it. Like I feel like he even said it in a video where he literally was like, "I don't care if this movie bombs. I just want this movie to be made. I just wanted to make a movie to see if I could do it, to be challenged to make a movie." And that's the aspect DSP doesn't understand, and it's very obvious he doesn't get it, because when he talks about his own fucking job, he's like, "I just want to sit here and play games. I want to relax. I don't want to like sit here and stress and do this and that." But it's like, he doesn't want to be challenged in life. That's why he doesn't want to eat food with bones in it. That's why he doesn't want to do any effort. Anything with effort, doesn't want to do it.
Okay? Nostalgia Critic literally quit Nostalgia Critic, ended the series, and everything he tried to do for the next year failed miserably.
Yeah, because you see, I feel like when he did that, people started to realize that he doesn't really have much talent, to be honest. Like, because I was thinking about it when the big failure shit that Doug was putting out, and I was like, wow, this dude's shit kind of does suck. And it's like, I was looking back at the other Nostalgia Critics, I was like, yeah, this isn't really funny. Like, I just realized it's just kind of like boring and kind of annoying, because it's just him like yelling and like doing like, it's pretty much what DSP tries to do on a daily basis almost when he tries to be funny. But I think the biggest issue I had with it, this is my drawing point. This is like when, like, I said enough with this bullshit, and it started to seep into other stuff when people started doing continuity stories within their reviews. Fuck off. Like, I'm glad that trend died. Fuck that shit. And DSP tried to do that with his fucking hateful truths back in the day, and it's so cringy. Like, look, I don't want to have to watch a fucking review of Mario Golf to understand what this character is that showed up in a Bayonetta review. What the fuck are we doing? And it died. It went away and it's never coming back. God damn.
Miserably, to the point where he had to begrudgingly restart the Nostalgia Critic videos, or else he was going to go out of business. Angry Joe.
I don't know if it was out of business. I don't know if it was that dramatic, but his other stuff did fail pretty badly. But this is kind of DSP celebrating someone's misery in the sense that nobody will probably correct him or care if he says this shit.
Joe outright told his viewers, "I don't want to do these reviews much anymore."
But you know what's funny? He says this as if it's a bad thing, and I just want everyone to remember, his entire issue with Rich from Review Tech USA was that Rich tried to do something else and not be a tech reviewer. That was the biggest sin DSP said about Rich. I mean, again, Rich, there's a lot of problems with Rich. I'm not gonna say that Rich is a cool guy here, but when you're trying to bring up how, oh, these poor people, they can't like venture out to do something else, in the same breath go around and say, fuck Rich, he's not reviewing tech anymore, he's trying other things, what an idiot. He's kind of wanting to put Rich in a box. But these other people who are forced to go in a box, that's bad. But Rich should be in a box and stay there. I mean, maybe he should be in a box, I don't know.
Because they take too long, they're too much work, they're too expensive, and if YouTube demonetizes them for some reason, I make nothing on all my work. I'd much rather be a streamer and this or that. And his audience said, well, that's great, but we really want your reviews, so too bad, keep making them. And so he has to keep doing them, you know?
But he does other stuff, though.
That's Whatever. The thing. I get it.
But
I realize that the reason that I get to continue to do what I love and to be successful, all right, is very simple. Because I never pigeonholed myself into one.
Okay. Look at the timeline here, right? He starts, DSP reacts. We're doing the 3-pronged plan. DSP acts it, canceled. DSP whatever. DSP acts it, canceled. Didn't even take off. The React series, it died and then got resurrected, then died again. DSP versus the internet died. Done. Then what did he do? Oh, he did politics. Guess what? Dead. Gone. Never coming back. DSP throwback. When is the last time he streamed on that channel or even talked about it? Never. I don't even know what he's uploading on that channel. Let's go to DSP throwback and see what he's doing there.
What is up?
Did you know he's uploading Resident Evil 5 and Assassin's Creed? Do you know he's doing this? I didn't know. I didn't even care. What about shorts? We still have that one short. Okay, that's the same. That never changed. When was the last post? 3 weeks ago. Mass Effect 1 is almost to the end. And we're doing an Assassin's Creed 2 now. But who cares? And then it was like a month ago. We talked Season's Greetings. We'll talk about someone who pigeonholed and didn't venture out. This guy. He's still doing gameplay. He's still streaming gameplay. That's all he's doing. He's doing almost Smack Guys. Smart Guys. Again, that is one show that is different that he does once a week, and it's heading to the chopping block. It's on the way. It's on the way to the chopping block. So what other thing is he doing? Food? Well, that's a reward he does when he hits goals. So who cares?
One style of content and got stuck making it. Instead, I can do variety all the time. And I'm successful at things that I try that are different. For example, this wrestling commentary show, I've slid right back into it and it's doing good. We're getting good views, good support. It's actually doing well. I can play big variety of games and they all work, right? I could do a podcast every day that people enjoy chilling with me. A lot of people actually have said now, I enjoy watching you on the podcast and hanging out with you more than I actually like your gameplay these days. And I don't care about that. Do you think I'm upset about that? No.
He said this for like 5 years. Like, it's a nothing statement at this point when he still goes into gameplay. But there are people who keep asking, well, can you start the game now? Can you do the game? We're doing a podcast right now. Maybe we didn't have anything to talk about. We do gameplay. And recently he complained about that. He said that there's no gaming news and he doesn't know what to do because he did a fuck around like podcast basically. Which, you know, it tells me something. It tells me a little bit something about this dude's podcast more and more with these little rants he goes on, and people probably picked up on it. You just know that there's nothing going on because he's pulling from the well to talk about the trolls, which is why we have 2 podcasts full of fucking topics to go through. Because this dude had nothing to say. There was no gaming news for me to bitch about. So we gotta go through this.
No, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad that people now like me for other things rather than just sitting here and yelling at a game all day. Okay? So, that's awesome. So here's the thing. I get what you're saying. I've been doing variety now for over, 16 years. And never really, I would say with the exception of classic Street Fighter, right? If you look at me playing like Super Turbo and classic Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, stuff like that, Those games I do really well at, right? But outside of that,
Right.
arguably, do I really do well at much else? Maybe you could say modern Call of Duty I do decently at, but no, I'm not
Dude,
a master of
dude.
any trade.
He bragged about how he's such a skilled gamer. He could play any game and be decent at it because he's such a variety streamer or whatever the fuck. And he talked about how being good at other games for playing so long. And then dude, if you tell him he's playing bad at a game and this and that, he'll tell you, I'm pretty good at this game, dude. I'm learning the systems and blah blah blah.
Trade. You're not going to sit here and watch my videos for instructional value or anything like that, right? But I'm okay with
Right.
that. I'm absolutely, positively, 100% happy with who I am as a
happy.
creator, with the content I'm making.
I'm glad for him.
I feel like it has merit, it has value, it definitely entertains everyone, and I don't get bored. Like, no lie, I never come to work and I'm like, man, what a boring day I have to work through today. Not once has that ever happened. I'm happy.
He said that there were years where he got burnt out and I feel like this is a grind. I'm just clocking in and this that he said that about the past. And now I never felt this way. Okay.
I'm happy that because I'm doing what I'm doing, it's so fun and it's more laid back.
Wait a
It's not
second.
all
Dude. Did he really change the background? Like, I just noticed the foam on the wall is black now. Is it black or is it fucked up? I don't know.
ultra serious all the time. You know what I mean? Um,
I guess he changed it to black.
I'm having a good time with it all. So I hope you guys understand that. Okay, I do. And that's why you're never going to really see me, I feel anyway, become a master of one thing or focus in on only play one genre of game. Because I feel like it would work maybe in the short term, but after a while I would get burnt out. This would even happen back in the day when I was a competitive fighting game player. If I just played fighting games nonstop for a set period of time, let's say for 3-4 straight months, I would play fighting games like crazy. I would get burnt out. I would get tired of it. I would be like, I don't want to keep doing this because I'm bored of it now. I've done too much of it and I'm getting frustrating doing it. So I would actually give myself big chunks of break. So I would play fighting games 4 or 5 months in a row, crazy. I would travel, I would play at tournaments, and then cold turkey, I would quit for like a month, 2 months. And my friends would even be like, you're not going to this tournament? You're not doing this? I was like, no. I'm literally...
This is like low-key kind of bullshit in my opinion, because when you go to a tournament, of course you're gonna want to take a break after that because it's a tournament. I mean, come on, you go there, like, that's why it's once a year. I mean, come on.
Literally cutting it right now on purpose because I need this break. I need to have variety in my life. I need to focus on other things. Then when I get back to it, it'll feel refreshing again. And that's really what I feel I've been successful at here, is I don't overly spend too much time doing anything particular. And because of that, people like to come back and watch various content that they enjoy. Some people are here for the podcast every day. Some are here for fighting games. Some are here for shooters. Some are here for RPGs. Some are here for action. Some are just here for funny stuff like the commentary I'm doing right now on Smart Guys with Ashton. And that's good. That's why I've had 16 years of longevity, because people aren't just here for the same shtick every day. It's different every day.
It's gone.
And that's a good thing, right? So there you go. And by the way, I planned it this way. Allow me to explain.
Oh, boy. So we did go right into the next talking
Back in the day when I was starting to become a popular YouTuber, I had opportunity.
Wait, listen to this. I got the way he said this. It's
planned
so
it
funny.
This way. Allow me to explain.
He planned it this way. Just sitting on his ass. He planned this. He did 4D chess, guys.
Back in the day when I was starting to become a popular YouTuber, I had opportunity to choose to focus on Street Fighter because I was blowing up on YouTube for Street Fighter.
Well, look at the scam here, right? He went to tournaments, he recorded other people's footage, uploaded the footage, like, before they could have a chance to make any money on it, as far as I understand it. But whatever, he did all this stuff, he gamed the system of getting attention for Street Fighter, and then funneled those views into other stuff. Like,
My
wow.
Street Fighter videos were getting more views than all of the videos from the pros. I'm talking all the top players would try to upload videos and no one would care. They cared about my video
Because he beat them to the punch. Like, he completely forgets that aspect of it. That he uploaded them before they could even think about it. And this dude is bragging about getting attention. He stole attention. He's the problem. He's why there's signs or people telling you don't record because of him.
videos because they were entertaining. Get it? So I was blowing up for Street Fighter. And I actually had people in the FGC who I was friendly with saying, dude, you're like the top Street Fighter guy. Are you going to keep doing it? Are you going to do it full time? Because there's potential. You could go to every tournament. You could become the Street Fighter guy on YouTube now. And you know what I told them? No,
No.
no, I'm not going to do that. And they were all confused. They were like, but there's money in it. I don't get it. Why would you not? I said, because that's short-term success. And what's going to
Okay, look at how dumb this is. Look how dumb this is. Let's talk about this aspect of it. He told us for years that he retired because he wanted to play other games and he wanted to see the games he missed out. And that's what he told us for years. Now he's telling us that, oh, this is this is short-term gains. I'm talking about the long term. But look at the long term. Look at the names who focus on the FGC. Maximilian dude. He is now a popular streamer and he got his start at fighting games. Same with Justin Wong, uh and yeah, I guess Tokido as well. But I don't see him pop up on Twitter as much. But whatever.
what's going to happen is it's going to burn out and fizzle out. Street Fighter right now is hot. But the thing is, Street Fighter and fighting games in general have popularity waves. Sometimes Street Fighter is really popular when there's a hot new game out, and then after a year or two, it tanks, and then people don't really care about it anymore. If I'm a creator,
But that's not the case now because of DLC. And like people are still playing Street Fighter 6 today. Well, like whatever, man. Okay.
hyper focuses on Street Fighter only or fighting games in general. What's going to happen is eventually things are going to get slower and then I'm going to suffer for it. And it wouldn't be my fault. It would be the industry that would cause a big slump for me. And I don't want to be a victim of the industry or, you know what I mean? And the big problem with that,
victim of the industry.
you got to remember, there was an 8+ year span
God.
where Capcom didn't make fighting games. They stopped making.
But this dude acts as if like if he got big on Street Fighter, nobody would want to see him play any other fighting game. So if Street Fighter gets stale, like if Street Fighter 6 got stale, he would have nothing else to do. But there's other fighters he could try out and talk about that and compare the two. He could then participate in tournaments. Like all these people who focus on fighting games either discuss like stuff about the game, characters they like to see in the game. They may want to talk about like, oh, I'm gonna main this character, then learn my way to get to like to a tournament, do that grind or whatever the fuck. Like these are things that people do when they are focusing on fighting games. So it's like an endless like well of like things to do.
Making them cold turkey and didn't start until Street Fighter 4 again, way future, like 2008, 2009. So imagine having an 8-year slump where now you're not getting any views and making no money just because these game companies decide to not make fighting games. That would be pretty dumb, don't you think? So instead, I said no.
So then I like how when people bring up like Maximilian was able to play Final Fantasy. Why can't you play this game, Phil? He's bigger than me. Why doesn't he ask himself, how did Maximilian retain all those viewers to watch his content? Like, and this is an ongoing issue that everyone brings up that DSP will never address, is the issue with retention. Like, he struggles through getting people to remain and stick around. The only reason why people stick around with the streams is because of LARPing reasons.
I said, no, I'm going to continue.
I'm sorry, like I'm
to
like
keep doing
I have a bad
variety.
habit.
I'm going to push variety in my content because I want it to be that if there's a slump in one genre, that's okay because then I can continue to do other genres of content.
But look at this, right? He just complained about indie games. That's one genre that's going through a slump right now in his content. And he dedicated a whole podcast fear mongering that he may not be able to play indie games because of one stream not doing so well, to then say, well, I'm just gonna put up as a one-time stream or whatever the fuck. And now he's saying it doesn't matter, there's other genres. Okay.
To pick up the slack. And it has worked. While the rest of the fighting game community had to go to shilling garbage. I mean, let's sell to pick up the slack. And it has worked. While the rest of the fighting game community had to go to shilling garbage. I mean, let's sell shitty quality home arcade machines. Let's push garbage products.
But that's his opinion. Like, he says this is garbage, and people can have that opinion. I mean, but who is he to say that the person who takes that sponsorship doesn't believe that and thinks that this is actually a good thing? Like, I like having like a mini arcade because, like, you know, for X, Y, and Z reasons. But even if they are doing it for the paycheck, which he's gonna go into, so what? You know, these people are not like telling them to buy it or die or anything like that. I mean, you know, at some point, everything to a degree is sponsored when money is involved, or that when they want to get more money out of something and this and that. Like that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. And you know, he would say like, "Oh, well, I would do like sponsorships that I would believe in." But look at the opportunities that he did when he was given those opportunities. He got a Sumo Lounge sponsorship. I mean, Sumo Lounge, I've seen other people talk about it, but it's a beanbag chair. I mean, how often are people going to be using Omni chairs? Then you have him trying to push Loot Crate. That literally sold junk to people. Random junk on top of that. He pushed that, but did he believe in that? No, he did it because he got a referral code. He then got an opportunity for OP Seats, got kicked out. He then moved on to Spawn Seats, which was far more sketchy and sus than OP Seats was at all, and pushed that even more, and defended it, banned a viewer for saying that their chairs are made in China. Banned a viewer for that. And then, like, these are things he did when given the opportunity, and he has the nerve to shit on other people who take these opportunities to shill the 1-Up Arcades, Dollar Shave Club, or whatever the fuck. Like, these are things these are things that are, at least in my opinion, the lesser problematic sponsors people could have. The worst is like BetterHelp. Like, that is far worse to push that than anything else, because BetterHelp is a known scam that is actually worse. And to see some people now pushing that now after what people found out about that, it is like wild. But even then, it's like, you know, well, you know, this is bad. You know, no one should be pushing BetterHelp. That is a bad sponsorship to take. But when it comes to like 1-Up Arcades and stuff like that, like, these are like things you don't have to do. You don't have to take these kind of sponsorships or to even listen to the streamer who are pushing them. Like, whatever. But listen to how he describes this, because this is also kind of like funny to me.
Products like food subscription services and shit on our streams. I don't have to do that. I'm successful being me because I wasn't a victim of the industry.
So we get streams. Like, honestly, compare someone who says, guys, go buy Dollar Shave Club, use link, save me 10 max or whatever the fuck. And then you do that and all that bullshit. Like, you listen to that. Is that as bad as having a dude sit there and say, guys, I would love to do the marathon Friday. Guys, it's a Wednesday. We gotta hit the goals like multiple times. We gotta hit double goals for today and tonight on the my streams, guys. We gotta do it. We gotta do the double goal because we want the marathon Friday. I don't want this Sunday. I don't want to do it Monday. It has to be Friday, guys. Let's do it for Friday, guys. It's now Thursday, and we didn't hit the goal we didn't hit the double goal on the night stream. That means we're behind. We gotta step it up. Why did we stop at $200? Like that is far worse than sitting through like a 5-second. Guys, if you want to support the stream, go do Dollar Shave Club and use the code Save Me 10. Like. And that you could skip through. You're watching a live stream of DSP, and he's like berating you to hit a goal to do it for Friday, and he tells you like we need to hit the goal. The cake is coming. The cake, the impending cake. And that's like what he's doing now. And that's worse now. But it will always crack me up thinking back in the days when he used to say the impending day off as if it's like. Like the moon from Majora's Mask is gonna collide into the planet. If we don't hit the goal before the day off, the moon will crash.
That industry right now is going into a slump again. It is. Street Fighter 6 is not nearly as popular as it used to be. Smash Brothers is not pushing numbers anymore.
This is so fucking cringe, my guy. Nobody who's big in Street Fighter 6 is only even talking about that game. They have other stuff going on. And some of these people also get this. They may also have a job doing it at the same time. Like, they may be having a real IRL job and then make content for Street Fighter 6 at the same time. So that's like probably half the streamers you see. They probably have an IRL job and they do this on the side as a side hustle. That, like, I said this for years. DSP is like trying to make this his job, but this isn't like a sustainable job because this is a thing people do as a side hustle. Like, anyone who plays games, they're mostly doing it as a side thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, but this is the thing I do on the side. But this, like, you have to do so much work to be entertained, to retain viewership, and he's not doing that. But this dude will sit there and say like, "Oh, these people are like, Street Fighter 6 isn't big anymore." Wrong. People still play this game. People still talking about the new characters coming out. People still talking about the third season that's gonna come out. We still have tournaments in that game. People still grind for the game. People are still talking about tactics and strategies and stuff that may be balanced or nerfed. Like, there's all this stuff that's talking about it. They may even talk about matchups. Like, oh. Like that, like all this kind of stuff. Then you have Smash Brothers. He brings up Smash Brothers, that it's not pushing numbers anymore. Is the FGC selling Smash Brothers? What does it mean to push numbers? I don't think tournaments can have Smash Brothers anymore because Nintendo put a stop to that for some reason. Smash has been dead for years, and people are like, okay, and they're still playing the game. Like, yeah, it's not literally a hot topic game anymore, but in reality, when has Smash been a big talking point in the FGC when it's not about if it's a fighting game? And again, a lot of the reason why Smash is, like, not talked about as much as it once was, and it's really funny DSP's like not talking about this because he did a fucking gaming news segment about it. Nintendo banned it from being used in tournaments. They can't use it in tournaments anymore because Nintendo didn't want that. So when a company does that, of course it's gonna hinder any word of mouth that game could have immediately. Like, the only thing people can do with it is just stream the game. But when you have all these other games that have tournaments, and all this stuff, they're gonna focus on the games that are gonna get the spotlight. Like, when Evo comes out, when like the Arc World Tours, I think pretty soon. I think it's like in sometime this month, and all this stuff. When these things happen, people are gonna be focusing on it. Then whoever wins these tournaments, guess what you're gonna see? People talking about these characters. Like last year, I think his name was Nitro. He won as Jacko, the goated character. If you hate Jacko, You're doing it wrong. Jacko's the GOAT. And guess what happened? Everyone talked about this character, and they actually realized Jacko's a cool character. And then guess what? More people tried to play her, and it was great. Everyone tried to learn her. It was fun. And I see these people in Strive, and I'm like, oh, I'm now I'm gonna just show them what a Jacko player can do. And then I get bodied sometimes. It's a fun like circle of life as a Jacko player. It's great. But now, who knows who's gonna win the next tournament? Is it gonna be Jacko again? I hope so. I hope Jacko wins again. I'm hoping, rooting for her, rooting for the best character, the GOAT, the fucking GOAT. But that's like the life cycle of all these fighting games. There's a YouTuber that I initially watched because he did a video talking about character themes in Guilty Gear, and it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. I like learning a little bit more lore about these characters. But he also talks about like when a new character comes out, he does a video explaining the character, like when to use what moves to use, all this kind of stuff. The other thing he does as well, he's talking about just other fighting games. Yeah, he talked about his thoughts as to why DNF Duel failed, the kind of character he wished he saw more of in fighting games, all this stuff. Because he ventures out to do other stuff. But again, I'll say it again, this dude probably has an IRL job. He's probably not doing this as a full-time job.
Multiversus, a new fighting game, failed within 2 to 3 years and is about to shut down.
Multiversus flopped from the get-go. I'm sorry. They tried. They did try when it was beta. And I just saw the writing on the wall. It's like, this is not lasting. The gameplay felt... I mean, it was better in the beta, but it still did not feel fun to play as much as Smash Brothers. And it's a Warner Brothers game, so it's like, yeah, this is gonna be a predatory fucking cash grab game. And it was.
Fighting games are in a slump. All right?
No,
I could be hurting right now, but I'm not, because I decided to not be a one-trick pony.
A one-trick pony.
Thankfully. Because, man, let me tell you, if I had to sit here on this stream and tell you guys to go buy a shitty arcade, one-up arcade machine, or to buy a food subscription service that I know is a piece of shit and is a ripoff, or Dollar Shave Club, or...
Again, he took an opportunity to push a gaming chair from Spawn Seats, which... honestly, was the most sketchy thing he has ever pushed on his audience. When this happened, I was just kind of like, what are we doing? Are we this desperate? We went from OP Seats to this. Like, OP Seats at least was a brand that that's been around the block a bit. Spawn Seats, no one ever heard of it. The chairs looked exactly like OP Seats, like all the way. Everything about it just looked like a knockoff, and he wanted to push that. And then guess what? He got the chair, and after it dissolved, he said the chair sucked. How can... and then like ALT did a stream the other day, and he went through some of the things he did, and one was LOL. He go back to this fucking LOL bullshit. Let's see. Oh gee. Let's see. Will this pull it up? Oh my god. Not Toto. Oh my god. DSP. Put all in the buzzwords. No. Okay. I think I can just, do this. Go here.
But I'm not 100%. And you might be saying, what the hell? Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you.
Listen to this.
What we're doing tonight is a game called LO Hell. And you might be saying, what the hell is LO Hell? That's a good question.
Listen to this tone. This is E3 presenter voice. Hey guys, this is EA here, and we're gonna explain to you what is Fart Sniffer. And you may be wondering what this game is. So this game is about a character who has a condition where they start to fart and they start to enjoy smelling it, and they have to explain to the main character to the main villain why they like doing. I don't know what this example was. You know, you see enough DSP fucking bullshit and nonsense happens, but it's that kind of voice. Like, listen to this.
And I'm here to answer that for you.
He's here to answer.
LOL is a game that's supposed to be a simulation of a situation of a person who's trying to become, and I'm here to answer that for you. LOL is a game that's supposed to be a simulation of a situation of a person who's trying to question, and I'm here to answer that for you. LOL is a game that's supposed to be
I thought it was like
a simulation
of a situation.
a situation.
A simulation of a situation. But this dude, like, this is like what you do for school. Like, oh, I'm doing a presentation for class, and this is how you talk. I'm here to explain that for you. But he's not like those fucking chills. Now, this is like the most entry level sponsorship anyone could have done on Twitch, because this is through the bounty board system. So this is like, no, you know, accessible, like bare bones, like anyone could just fall into it. Where you didn't have to do any actual effort into getting sponsored. But this is the kind of, but like, look at this. He did this, didn't think about the game at all, and then was like, well, it's like a Telltale game, and but like, come on, dog.
Or whatever the fuck the flavor of the day is, the new YouTube sponsorship, right?
Right.
I would hate myself. I would legitimately hate getting up in the morning and having to turn on this stream because it means it's shilling time. You know? Now, here's the thing. Did I shill this morning? Of course I did.
So, what is the difference between shilling, like, Dollar Shave Club and hitting a goal for you to eat food? I mean, what is an optional thing that the viewer may or may not have to do? The other one, the viewer may need to do it if they want to see him eat food. And they gotta do it by Friday.
But I shilled for me and my content. Support my content. Let's hit the goals. Let's do a reward marathon. I didn't say, hey, everyone, buy garbage products and support exploitative corporations so that they'll send me a few bucks so I can make a living. I said, support my content because you like it. I feel a lot better about that. I really do. So while all these communities are
Let's do this again.
Send me a few bucks so I can make a living, I said, support my content because you like it. I feel a lot better about that. I really do.
Okay.
So while all these communities are basically having to use this formula to succeed, I need a sponsorship, I need a partnership, I need to shill. I don't.
Who said that they absolutely need it? But they probably need it, but it's like, what are we complaining about here? Like, these are like 2-second things, and that's it. Like, come on.
I don't have to do that because I'm a variety creator. And I'm happy that I've taken the road that I have. Listen, certainly, I'm not as affluent as a lot of these other people who do this full time. And I know that because of the choices that I've made. I've stayed independent and I've made that active decision to do so. But I'm happy with who I am. Okay? So thank you to those who allow me to be true to who I am, to do the content I want to do, to not make me go into the same bullshit formula as these creators. I got to do the grind. This is what I don't get. People who say the grind.
Listen to this.
To do the content I want to do, to not make me go into the same bullshit formula as these creators. I got to do the grind. This is what I don't get. People who say the grind.
This is it's a euphemism. Like, I think that's the right term. A euphemism. People just say that just to say it. Like, I could say, oh, I'm doing the grind playing Jacko. Like that, yeah, I'm grinding to like learn the character. That doesn't necessarily mean automatically I regret doing that, or it's like, oh, this is a terrible thing. Like, grinding is a general term that can apply many things. It could be applied negatively, it could be applied positively, or just being facetious. Like, okay.
The grind, dude. Every day I get up, I turn on my setup, I chill with you guys, we have a good time, and I make money doing it. That's not a grind.
But he spends his time harping about hitting the goal, when to hit the goal. Like again, I want, like, this is what this new goal system is really insane, and I feel like more people should be like revolting in DSP. DSP fans should be in more revolt over this fucking goal system, because it's far more predatory than it was before when it was a streak, and it shouldn't. In fact, it should not be this predatory in comparison. Yet DSP found a way to do that. He got $200 on the my stream on the night stream, $200+. And he was belly aching about not hitting the second goal because he wants to hit the goal by Friday because he doesn't want to do a marathon during the Super Bowl, and he didn't want to do it Monday because it would affect the games he was playing. That he wants to clean house and this and that. And I'm just sitting here like, why does that matter? I thought this was a chill and not a grind. Like, he's talking about, I need to beat this game. I spaced this out. I scheduled this whole thing out. That's not a grind. That's not, you know, treating it like a job. If he doesn't, you know, it's weird. It's so like predatory when he hyped up this fucking system as we can celebrate the goal whenever we hit it. It's not about if, it's about when. And it seems that he doesn't like the idea when the when is on a day that inconveniences him. It has to be Friday. At this point, I would love it if his chat did not hit the goal until Monday. If that happened, I would love to see DSP squirm to cope that he's doing the goal on Monday. And the funniest thing about this as well, let's say he got the goal Wednesday he hit the goal, he got goal 100. Will he do it that day or Friday or Thursday? No, he would do it Friday. He did this before. He got a goal hit, and we had to wait a few days to get to it because he wanted to do the goal on a Friday. This dude is married to this and then wants his audience to time their support to line up with how he wants the goals to be hit. But I thought the whole point of this fucking system was to hit the goal when he hit it, and then he used the cake as another example. But nobody asked for this fucking cake except for Rare Tricks. And if that's such a problem, why not just say, like, Rare Tricks literally asked him about this, and, well, it's not gonna work because of this and that reason. Then why not just say, hey, if Rare Tricks is gonna donate the food, why not just do it when the food arrives and not have it be part of the goal? And you could say, well, this is a special occasion because Rare Tricks bought this food on Goldland or whatever the fuck this site is called. Like, he could do anything, but instead he wants to time everything to Friday. It gotta be on this day because of that, and which is completely predatory and defeats the point of this goal system.
That's a fun lifestyle. I don't feel the grind of the creator because I'm smarter than that. I always was. But these people who are out, oh, the grind, and I got to do this, and I got to shill this. No, you don't. You just have to.
Nobody sits there and says, I have to oh my god, I have to shill Dollar Shave Club. No! Like, they're just like, okay, yeah, Dollar Shave Club. And then that's it. Like, okay.
To be creative and make better content. Then people would support you for you.
But they are getting support, though. Listen to this.
But these people who are out, oh, the grind, and I got to do this, and I got to shill this. No, you don't. You just have to be creative and make better content. Then people would support you for you instead of having to buy garbage products because you tell them to. Instead of being an influencer, you'd be an actual creator. But this is what's been lost.
You see, he's kind of conflating influencers, which are completely different, from a YouTuber that uploads a video with a promotional with a promotion code. Those are two completely different things. One is making content designed for this, which is not the same as people who are making videos for whatever reason. Like, it's completely different. But this is such a nonsense take. It's ridiculous.
And lost in modern content creation. These people all are influencers now. Oh, buy what I tell you to buy because I'm an influential person in my community. Instead of, oh, we all had a good time on stream.
No one is saying buy and then they buy. Like, this dude works on cartoon logic. Like, nobody does this. Like, sure, some people may be influenced, but it's all different reasons. Like, I started doing a hitbox. I started getting hitbox controllers because I saw one streamer use it, and it at first I was like, oh no, this sounds kind of like confusing. But then I used it, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm not doing accidental jumps anymore, and I like the accuracy in my inputs a little bit more. Like, I like using a hitbox now. Okay, great. Like, it wasn't an influencer. I mean, this person wasn't an influencer either. I mean, come on, dog.
On stream today, so please support it so we can have another good day tomorrow. That's what it should be. You all had a great time today and you supported it so we could have another great day tomorrow. Keep it going.
Yeah, but not everyone has the amount of money, and it may not be fair for the viewer to have the responsibility to, like, pay the other person's bills. Like, it is like, it's a delicate relationship for a content creator to have with the viewer, and it's like only so much. And you don't want to, like, teeter on that relationship or dynamic, I guess, or whatever, because at the end of the day, why are people watching you? Because they like your videos. Like, if they want to support, that's completely up to them. Don't put them in a position, or yourself in the position for that matter, where, hey, if these people don't give me money, I can't pay my bills. Like, you should not be in that position. Like, at all, unless you're living in a situation that is affordable where you can make money off of, like, a slow tip day or whatever the fuck. But again, he is saying this as he went from saying $50 a day is a successful stream to now saying we must hit 150 goals, or what's the point?
Versus, hey, buy this piece of shit product, buy this electric toothbrush, buy this razor, buy this piece of garbage gamepad, buy this shitty t-shirt. What the
Guess what? He sold or pushed a Hori Joy-Con controller. He pushed that. Same with Laser Mod, same with and all this other stuff. Like, he had all these review copies before that he was trying to shill. Like, the Joy-Con thing, what was the negatives? I think the only negative I could think of is that it either had no rumble or it had no rumble, and you can't use it when the Switch is docked. Like, you have to use it in portable mode. Like, that's it. That's the only issue he had with that. Didn't talk about the battery, didn't talk about anything else. And he didn't even use it. Cat used it. And that's what he bases the review on. Okay.
What the fuck? Why, when did it become so commercial, right? But it's like, oh, well, don't make fun of them. Don't hate on them because they're getting the bag.
People say don't make fun of them and do this is because why, like, this is like an ongoing thing. People that always astounds me about this dude, that he always has to bring down others. And then when people try to break him down, why are you bringing me down? I'm just staying in my lane. And then this dude is sitting there like, yeah, these people are all fucking scammers, and they all, like, are forced to shill. Isn't that sad? They can't make good content anymore. They all have to shill. Like, why can't he just say, yeah, I don't take sponsorships. I don't want to do sponsorships. I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. Why can he just say that? Why did he have to make it, like, and he said he's happy. Then right after that, he went on to diminish or demean other people for taking sponsorships. But he doesn't know their situation. Why do you think they're taking sponsorships, Phil? Maybe they want to make that bag, or they're scammers? Or is it just because maybe they just want to take sponsorships because it may be an easier way to make money so that that can support their content? Like he really acts as if like Maximilian would take a sponsor from Dollar Shave Club, and then all his videos are all about shaving. That never happened. He never like he. It's really the cartoon meme or the sitcom logic where a person takes a sponsorship deal from a menacing businessman, and they had a show and everyone loved it. It was like honest, and then they took a sponsorship deal, and then the next time they did the stream together on this in the sitcom, they had a shirt that had the company name, and they start to realize they sold out and they're not being who they were, and the show started to morph into something else, and they had to stop doing it because that was corrupt and this and that. But it's not that clear cut. Like it's completely like that situation is completely different from just simply like having one little segment on talking about Dollar Shave Club, then talking about Mai and Street Fighter having big boobs. Like these are two different things, and it's not like neither of them influence the other.
Yeah, but by what means? By making their viewers buy garbage instead of just.
They're not making them buy garbage. Like he acts like it really is like, hey, if this thing is on TV, a person will have to buy it or whatever. It's always a chance. Like just because a YouTuber like pushes Dollar Shave Club doesn't mean that the person's gonna sign up for it. I think the only successful sponsorship that YouTubers have pushed successfully, in my opinion, that I think more people have taken, are VPNs. Because I mean, I think I've heard good things about NordVPN as far as I've gathered. I've heard good things about it. So I think that's like the only sponsorship that has gotten benefits in multiple places. And it's like, so they're asking for support through sponsorships, but this is something that also benefits the viewer. Like, yeah, if it does so happen sometimes the sponsorships are bad and there are not good sponsorships, but that's like a viewer beware situation. Like the worst that you can get with it is, to go back to better health, I guess, is really the issue of if you know a sponsorship is bad and it's unethical, you shouldn't be shilling that, and a lot of people should not be doing that kind of stuff when the product is known to be bad. Like BetterHelp has a track record of being a bad company, and even now they claim that this is a resurface and maybe it's better now. It's not, and it's like, yeah, this is not something that people should be pushing at all, and people should be blacklisting this. And the creators that don't acknowledge that, even to apologize that they even accepted it in the first place, maybe these people should not be getting any support from their viewers anymore. That kind of that's the most extreme aspect of that. But when it's like One Up Arcade, like that's that's something completely different than like BetterHelp, where that on a viewer's end may need to do more legwork to understand the issues with BetterHelp versus like One Up Arcade, where you can either find simple reviews of it or you'll just see it and be like, no, or you'll buy it and you'll be oops. But that's like completely different. Again, it's all different things and probabilities and all this other stuff. And DSP acts as if these YouTubers that do it, everyone does it automatically. Everyone does this, everyone does that. Meanwhile, that may not even be true.
Just saying, hey, my content's good, support it. But that's the thing, they can't. They can't make a living on that because
but that's also dumb. No one is gonna just sit there and say, yeah, my content's good, guys, support me. Like, you're making the content. Isn't that a conflict of interest, technically? Like, basically? Like, who's gonna sit there and say, yeah, my content sucks today, don't give me money today, guys, this content sucks. Like, that's not how that works. Like, the content being good is in the eyes of the viewer, and if they want to support it, they can support directly if they want to, which is why they may stream sometimes. But if it's like, hey, you're watching a recorded video and you want to use ad block, please use the sponsorship, because that way, like, I at least get like support if you want to. I mean, this is older, and these sponsorship deals are different. I don't know how much of these sponsorship deals are paid through people signing up, or if it's like, they give a flat fee for doing it, and then they give you like a little bonus if they sign up. Like, I don't know these agreements because I don't have one. But he's like out of his ass as well. But again, if this dude was given the opportunity, that was a juicy sponsorship that he would take, he would do it. Like if Ubisoft said, Phil, we will give you Ascreed Shadows for free if you play it, and this and that, he would take it. He would. I mean, he did review copies for Fallout 4.
Because they all chose to do this same road, same formula, same boring bullshit. Wow, you get 40,000 views on every video on YouTube, but no one contributes to your streams. So I make more money on one stream than you do on that video that you.
Yeah, but the viewers don't have to sit through, like, through the YouTuber or whatever the fuck, saying, guys, I have bills coming up, guys. It's been slow, guys. You know, like. The landlord is coming tomorrow, and I don't know what to tell him if I don't get my money, man. He's gonna like, cut my legs, guys. I mean, come on. Is that what they should do? They should that's the new meta. They should start doing this more often. They should just say, guys, like tomorrow I have the rent's due. I need to pay it, or I'm gonna die. So please give me money right now, right this second, or I'm gonna die. Guys, I don't really want to buy eggs. Come on.
That you work so hard on. Good for you, bro. You're doing it wrong.
But, and
Dream.
Look how fucking negative this is. Again, this is attacking people who had said nothing about him. And he's like, why do people hate me? I don't know, Phil. Maybe it's this fucking nonsense. And he's sitting there like, wow, you made a video and you get paid through a sponsorship. Well, I get 40,000 views and I make more money with less views. Well, man, like, okay. You know, with that logic, simply with that logic, he should not have shat on Angry Video Game Nerd because he got paid to do the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. So he was able to make the movie and he got paid to do it before the movie was even made.
Than you do on that video that you work so hard on. Good for you, bro. You're doing it wrong.
Like, what? And this is like, man, how are they doing it wrong? This dude said, like, you're telling me that I'm doing it wrong? Go fuck yourself. I'm doing it right. How dare you tell me what I'm doing is wrong? And this dude is saying, like, yeah, you're doing it wrong. Meanwhile, I don't recall seeing any of these people sit there and say, guys, I want to hit the goal, the support goal by Friday, so we can like do a viewer's choice. Right now, I have $200 and I need 300. You see, I don't think we're doing the goals, guys. Guys, do me a favor. Like, when have you ever heard anyone say that? No, never. Lolcows have said that. And this dude is having the gall to say other people are doing it wrong, but if these people say he's doing it wrong, he would be upset about it. Like, make it make sense. Sip, sip, sip.
Anyway, let's get back on track. But yeah, that's why I don't just do one kind of content, because I don't want to fall in.
Why was and you know for a fucking fact, if someone said, "Well, Phil, that was pretty toxic," he was like, "I know, idiot. I was just stating an observational fact. I'm just stating that they gotta do sponsorships and I don't. Okay, idiot." Except that he said that they're doing it wrong, and it's kind of like in a negative tone.
Into the same formula that all of the other ones have. All those people had to become shills in order to make a living, and I don't have to do that. Thankfully, because I would really feel like shit if every day. By the way, are you using my referral code when you buy this food box of?
Yeah, but now he does that for his own goals. Like, he does that for his own stuff. Like, literally the meme of how he portrays like shills and all this stuff is literally how he talks about his own content. Like, that is how he shills himself, is the way that he stereotypically thinks other people shill product, is the way he does, he shills his own stuff. Like, and he thinks that's fine because it's his own content, but but it makes it look more predatory and more, and it gives it more pressure. Meanwhile, these evil scammers who are shills just have like a 2-minute video that play, and that's it. Like, it just says, hey, support me by doing this referral code. All right, now onto the show. And then that's it, which you can also skip through. But that is evil and demented. But this dude can tell you and harp on only having $200 on a night stream, but let's hit the third goal. But if you don't double the goal tonight, please do me the favor of hitting the goal 2 times for the next 2 streams. Isn't that cool?
Of bullshit that everyone knows is overpriced and no one really needs. It's
like,
fucking stupid.
Look great, right? Like the ones you shilled, right?
So now that all that's been said, you like the fact that I'm an independent. You like the fact that I make variety content. You like that I don't sell out, right? So let's get some support on the stream. Let's hit the goal right now.
You could argue he did sell out. He sold out to Kino Casino because all the things that Kino Casino has done is stuff that DSP would ban people for doing and saying it's bad. Like, this was stuff that, like, Keemstar wanted to do to Phil with lolcow Live, basically, and he said that's bad. But now he's all for Kino Casino because they gave him attention. Again, he said literally how he's allowing PPP to shit on him because he gave him clout. That's why it's okay for them to make fun of Kat and call her fat and do all this stuff, because they gave him clout. But he didn't sell out, but he did. He sold out to Kino Casino. That's who he sold out to.
Let's get the momentum rolling. Let's do the marathon this week. Let's keep it moving. That's what makes me different from everyone. I hope you appreciate it. I know you do, because you allow me to have a great living. So now let's get that rolling and keep it moving.
Wow.
All right?
You allow me to have a great living. Awesome.
Excuse me.
Okay, let's see. The next talking point is a little bit ahead. It's 1 hour and 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's start here.
So this is an anonymous $4.90 tipper.
And
first
get
off.
a load of this.
Okay.
Guys,
so that
by
makes
the way,
the top
by the way, shouts out. We're almost done. We're on the last 2. We're like the last 2 guys. So I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna watch the second podcast in this video. I'm gonna do another video because this is already gonna be pushing 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, wow.
Tip of the day.
Maybe I should be paid for this video. Nah. It's all good.
Here is what they're suggesting. I'm curious how everyone's going to react to this. I'm going to just read this right now, okay? So everyone listen up. Everyone watching me on my stream on YouTube, everyone watching me on my stream on Kick, and get this, this is actually a message to the people who are now watching me live restreamed as well. Yes, I'm serious. This is a message to everyone from this tipper. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Here we go.
Okay.
Since potentially thousands of people are currently watching you on restreams, would you consider doing a segment that says the following? You like to watch me on other channels, but since I'm creating the content that you watch and obviously you enjoy it, consider supporting me anonymously. I understand that you can't use your real name and you can't actually use your identity because in your circles, people will probably make fun of you. But if you legitimately like watching me, even for malicious...
This is, like, unbelievable on how cringe this is. Like, it is insane. Insane. This little chain of events. Like, this isn't, like, he thinks... I mean, he thinks the common YouTube viewer is a brain dead idiot, by the way. He does think that. So he probably also thinks that the trolls are so stupid that they would have to be told to tip anonymously. But DSP also told us that these are people that would not give him money. but he has gotten troll tips before. Like, all of this is complete nonsense.
Malicious purposes of making fun of me on a restreamer, please still support my content anonymously. Now, here's the deal. I actually believe that some people do this already, okay? I would guess that a lot of these people who do these anonymous tips, or some of these people who do these tips, oh, say this disgusting name or say this stupid thing, I bet that that's those people. I wouldn't even be shocked at all to hear that it's those people, right? We get tons of anonymous contributions. Okay. We get anonymous subs, we get anonymous tips, right? All the time. But very much so, I think those who even restream me would admit, even if you don't like me, you can admit I don't sit here shilling crap products to my audience and try to get them to buy garbage.
Like, honestly, they are buying garbage. Like, dude, he called DSP Tricid, by the way. Like, oh, I would eat disgusting food. Like this and that. And he would call sometimes some of the DSP Tricid shit garbage. Okay.
Because I respect them more than that. I would much rather sit here and ask directly for contributions and crowdfunding than say, hey, buy a fucking shitty razor or buy overpriced cookies or, you know, buy this stupid jersey or do a food subscription plan. And because of that, I would hope that people understand that and would possibly come by and say, you know, even though necessarily I don't love Phil at all moments, there are times when I like his content, and certainly I like laughing at him with the community.
So, dude, he said that's bad to laugh at him. Now it's okay. Man, he's not a sellout, by the way, but he already sold out his morals to hope to get troll tippers, even though he doesn't want them to tip because they may charge back. What is the point of this?
So I want that to continue, so I'm going to support it. And then they would every once in a while.
But this dude also said that all trolls want him to be homeless, basically. But now we all want to help him and make sure he continues to make content. Okay, man.
I'll become a member or do an anonymous tip or give some subs on Kick, right? Yeah. But here's the thing. Do I necessarily need to go ahead and do that? Think about it. Do I really need to ask out specifically to that audience, hey, please contribute?
I just love that he reads this. He then focuses on what it was asking, then says after all of that, do I really need to say all that? You just did, though.
I think those people who genuinely like the content know who they are, and they're going to come by eventually and maybe do that if they're ever going to. I don't think that my asking for that is actually going to help anything. I don't think that. Wow, I've had a mind-blowing idea. Phil has asked me, someone watching a restream, to contribute, and now because he did, I'm going to go contribute now. I don't think that's going to happen. Here, you.
But this is dumb though. He asked, when he asks for support, it's a general plea for support though. He's not asking specifically, hi DSP fans and only DSP fans, please support me. He says, hey guys, if you like the stream, support the stream, and this and that. Now he's saying this, come on.
Here, you ready? We'll give it a shot. This message is
and then he's doing it again. He did it the first time, and this is the second time to say this.
Directly to everyone watching me on a restream. I know that you probably don't love me. But
wait, I watched restreams. I never thought that I could give him money through anonymous names. I didn't think about that. I only heard him talk about giving him support for years. I didn't think I could give him support. Now that he said restreamers, now I know he's talking to me. Now I know he sees me. Before I didn't think he saw me. That's why I didn't give him any money. Now I know he saw me because I watched a restream. Because I just drink enough bleach for that to be a thing. Wow.
but you probably get some value in watching my content, whether it's ripping it apart or making fun of me or whatever it is. Please
But
understand.
look how much of an ad this is. It's not even like coming from me. It's like, do you like making fun of me? Do you like watching the streams through illegal methods that I think that are illegal? Well then, come to my streams and support by doing the following. Like, who talks like that?
And that your support allows it to continue, whether it's for good or bad reasons, whether you actually enjoy it for good reasons or you like making fun of me, the support still keeps it rolling. So please come by right now and support my content with an anonymous tip, or how about this, some subs on Kick, because we have absolutely nothing on Kick this morning. There are a bunch of bums and schlubs over there, and they're not supporting the content. So maybe you can pick up the slack for that. There you go.
It's very obvious, though, that he views trolls only in Kick chat. I think that's the only place he thinks he has trolls. Every time because so far, Kick has been used to be his punching bag. When he needs to beg, he just punches down on them. Yeah, fucking Kick, they're not like stepping up, okay? He never talks like this about YouTube. And when he does, it's very like, well, it seems YouTube is not very supportive today. I mean, it seems like Kick is like taking the reins today, guys. Wow, are you gonna let that happen? Meanwhile, when like YouTube is supportive and Kick is not, Kick are a bunch of lazy bums. What the fuck? What a cool guy.
Okay, now let's see what happens. Will tons of fun start rolling in this very moment? Let's find out.
All right, let's see. This is anything else?
All right, well, let's now move on. Like I said, so you know the schedule for the week.
Okay, he talked about schedule. Killing that. An hour and 20 minutes. And 6 seconds.
Thank you. Who is this?
Who is this?
So this person says, to clarify, restreamers pulled numbers and are active watching everything you're live. And I've seen them gift subs, gift money to the host, and so on. Many just chill and actually respond to your opinions on games and events. Most are negative assholes. Some seem to enjoy the community. You enable them to have that because they're piggybacking on you. So as social beings, it's reasonable, in my opinion, to direct their attention every now and then to the reality that you enable them to enjoy the community.
Okay,
they're live, and I've seen them gift subs, gift money to the.
Okay. With this logic, when DSP plays the game, the people who gift subs to DSP, they should go buy Mouthwashing. The people who support DSP streaming Mouthwashing should go buy the game. Right? Correct?
To the host and so on. Many just chill and actually respond to your opinions on games and events. Most are negative assholes. Some seem to enjoy the community. You enable them to have that because they're piggybacking on you. So as social beings, it's reasonable, in my opinion.
He doesn't want us to have that. He says that we should all be taken down. He wants to sue. Like, it is so funny how we went from, I want to sue them. If I win the lotto, I'm going to sue them and make sure they're homeless. And then, like, and all that bullshit. This week, yeah, they should give me money. They should, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love them.
Opinion to direct their attention every now and then the reality that you enable them to community they so desire and enjoy off of the mother channel, of course.
Dude, they're slowly, I think they're trying to give him a power complex. They're trying to increase his power, his thirst for power. They're trying to make him into a control freak. Like, look at how it ended. That we should, like, basically telling DSP that we should be grateful that DSP allows us to have a community. And this dude is like wondering why he's a lolcow. Dude, this type of like conditioning that they're doing to DSP is basically what people have been doing to Chris Chan. Like, it's not as bad. Like, it's not. Well, it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not as bad as what Chris Chan went through. I mean, not a lot of people will shove a sawing tube down and up their ass, but this dude, like, for years, was like, okay, no one can get him to do a lot of dumb shit, and to the most part, like, they can't get him to do a lot of shit he doesn't want to do. But the stuff that they're successfully doing to successfully getting him to do, like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, Yeah, this isn't stuff that you should be listening to, and he's allowing it to kind of like take over his personality at times. Like again, ever since he like honestly, it started ever since he left Twitch. Like he left Twitch, and after that, it was just it was just a downhill slope. It never recovered. It's wild. It is wild how far this dude has fallen. Like you show this to DSP back in the day, he'd be filling out job applications.
Here's the thing, though. All right. So thanks for the $5 tip. I appreciate that. You're right, and what you're saying is very reasonable, okay, and very smart actually, and intelligent. Like if you're watching someone make fun of someone, even if you don't like the person, understand that that person must be supported, because if they're not, they will not continue to make the content that you like to make fun of. So you should every once in a while support it regardless, right? So there you go. But the thing is, what you're saying is
whatever
intelligent. And I hate to say it, a lot of people who watch something just to crap on it are not intelligent people. Intelligent people, what you're saying is intelligent. And I hate to say it, a lot of people who watch something just to crap on it are not intelligent people. Intelligent people are people who...
But like honestly, look at like Tommy Wiseau. People like laughed at the room, and then like eventually Tommy Wiseau started to lean into that a lot, and everything after that, nobody cares. Like he did this one movie recently. It was like a shark movie or whatever the fuck, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, this guy like he's okay, and that's it. And now nobody gives a fuck about Tommy Wiseau, and where is he now?
Have lives. Have constructive, positive
if you don't support him, you see him go down a rabbit hole. Like it's something
going on for themselves, and you know, families, relationships, jobs and careers, hobbies, lives. God. Have constructive, positive things going on for themselves, and you know, families, relationships, jobs and careers, hobbies. They don't have time to just sit around and dump on people 24/7. The people who have time to do that are miserable wretches. That's the truth, is that this entire online culture of people who hate watch, the reason they hate watch is because they don't...
This is like completely different though. Like this is like, he realizes that people who hate watch invest the same amount of time into his content as people who like watching him, right? And there's not a lot of investment. Like I think like making videos is a little bit more like investment, but at the same time it's like, who cares? There's so many other videos out there that chronicle other people's careers, and they talk about stuff that you know highlights an issue with them, whatever. Like this is just a thing that people do.
Have a good life for themselves. If they did, they wouldn't have to spend time hating on others' lives. So they really don't have that rational level of thought in their heads to say, oh yeah, well, it's common sense to think, I like making fun of Phil. Phil needs support to stay in business. Let me support his business so we can make fun of him more, right? Here's a perfect example. For years, there was...
But what if I didn't care? What if I don't care about you being successful? Like, who gives a fuck if you're successful or not? Like, it doesn't matter, and it's a waste of money. Like, at this point, you're better off just throwing your money in a toilet and flushing than giving it to DSP. Someone in the sewer can enjoy the money better than DSP. Give it to a homeless person. Homeless people would be much more appreciative of getting money than DSP, and he has a house.
There was this silly meme about me doing push-ups, okay? 2 weeks ago on Smart Guys, PPP and I set this up that I was going to do push-ups, but people needed to support it.
No, that's too generous. BB said do it. He said, I don't know, for it. And then he just he just did one, which wasn't really a push-up. It was like more like a thrust. Like he wanted to fuck the couch. He wanted to fuck the floor. I mean, I guess that's some exercise. He's exercising something.
Support it. You've wanted to see me do push-ups and make fun of me doing push-ups for how many years? Okay? Here's the truth. For me, it's no big...
No. Someone said do push-ups like back then during the Danganronpa stream. He didn't do it at all. He lied. Surprise, surprise. He confirmed he lied, by the way, which is very cool and fun. But he did that. He said he claimed that afterwards when people asked him to do it, he's like, "No, you're not gonna pay up. You're gonna be a little bitch about it. Fuck, you're trying to control the streams." But now he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." Like, I know this is behavior you don't want to like normalize, right? And again, he said back when he canceled the vest and the hat was that I'm not a dancing monkey. I'm not gonna do stunts. I'm not gonna do this. Guys, if you hit the goal, I'll do push-ups. That's not a stunt. Oh, that's how you were doing something silly. But that's like doing the monkey dance. He literally did the monkey dance about fucking socks. And it's like, dude, this isn't selling out? Like, this is what people think selling out means. Like, that's what he thinks selling out means, by the way. What he did. Dancing about showing off socks. Doing push-ups. These are things that he once said were bad, and then he decided this is good now because I can get money for it. Which is the definition, or his definition, of what selling out is and why it's bad. But since PPP is not a company or a corporation, it's fine and fun and interactive. It's not, Sony's not telling him to do it, okay? Totally different.
No big deal. I don't care. I don't care if I can get on this floor and do 20 push-ups or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even factor into me or my life. If I could do them.
Then why was he so aggressive? When people asked to do it, he then said, "I can't turn the camera down." And again, these are all behaviors that he did intended to annoy people because it was like, I can't turn the camera around. It was him just trolling and him teasing the audience, saying that he can't do it when he knows he could. He just didn't want to, and he would much rather be a little bitch about it than just saying, "Oh, I didn't," whatever, right?
Do them great. If I can't, it doesn't matter. I can still do my work. I can still have a fun life. I don't care if I can do push-ups. Only my detractors care. So he said, hey,
if we cared, then why didn't you hit the goal, stupid?
Let's hit our goal for today and Phil will do the push-ups. Guess what didn't happen? We didn't hit any contributions at all for it. Now that's the content they claim they want.
Nobody said, guys, this DSP guy, he sucks. He should really do push-ups. That's what he should do. And the person who did it, by the way, was some random dude in his chat at the time, just randomly asking, can you do push-ups? And that's it. It was like, I'll tip you if you do push-ups. And then he pretended to do it, and the guy said, turn the camera. They hit him with the, you did not say to do them on camera. Which is clearly what he would have done. Because this dude is a fucking scammer. He will definitely do wordplay because this dude always bends the rules. Well, you didn't say this exactly? Oh, you want me to do this? You didn't say that because this dude's a piece of shit. And then this dude's like, well, you guys wanted this. Nobody wanted him to do content. No one said his content would be improved if he did push-ups. The only time people ask him because he was getting pissed off about it. Everything that summarizes this dude's content is literally just this.
Are you gonna boo-hoo or are you gonna yeehaw? All right, are you gonna boo-hoo or are you gonna yeehaw? You're gonna boo-hoo.
And that's it. That's all his content is. That's all what people do to him. And he thinks that me saying, "Oh, I think DSP should drink bleach," means that I'm saying that as it would improve his content, which it actually might. Maybe that would. Okay, I take it back. That would improve his content. Him drinking bleach. We could do a shot every 150. Okay. I'm not saying I would tip or support for that much, but someone would. Someone might. Just not me, because I don't want to spend money on that because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to be responsible for that. Okay, so I'm just spitballing ideas here.
Right? They've claimed for how many years we want the push-ups because we want to make fun of Phil doing push-ups. But then when it's time to put the money where the mouth is, 0 is received.
Yeah. So because why would they pay again? And you just know this dude would get the money, and then he would like brag about how he scammed trolls and then giving him money to do push-ups. Like, because that's what this guy fucking does. Like, this dude actually, like, I'm positive. You could go back somewhere. I don't know if it was during a Vestreak celebration or what, but he was saying that it was a joke to wear the vest and all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself in my head that, so you got $150. It was not $150. This is before the pig inflation, but he would get $100 and say that it was a joke, and that's why he put it on the vest. So he would bellyache and be like, guys, we're not gonna hit the vest stroke. The vest stroke is gonna die at this much and this and that. And then he would put on the vest to laugh as a joke. At whose expense? The trolls spent $0 on that. The trolls were actually just laughing at the fact that this dude's only success at the time was to put on a vest. Like, that, this content was completely nothing, and the only thing that was giving him money was the idea of putting a vest on him. And the only people who were giving him money to do that were DSP fans. Like, they're the ones at the expense of the joke of putting on the vest. But they're in on it because they like the content, even though they did not support him at all in any meaningful way. But the moment the vest was in play, they all suddenly decided to get their wallets open for the vest.
So this is the point. It's not that these people, these hate watchers, right? The reason that they hate watch is to feel better about themselves because they're miserable wretches and embarrassments to humanity.
This is fucking cope, my guy. I mean, everyone's life is different. Everyone has a different situation in life. You don't know what's going on in anyone's life at all. Period. And to think that I'm making these videos because I think my life sucks. Wow. Wow, cope harder, bitch.
That's not me actually like insulting them. That's me being truthful. People.
And then he does this bullshit. I'm not insulting them. I'm just being truthful. Okay, DSP, you're a scammer. You are a piece of shit who has gout and has grooming tendencies on his own audience, and is predatory on his own audience. I'm not being mean. I'm just stating an observation. I'm just stating an observational fact. This dude is predatory on his own community to give him money to hit a goal on a day he wants it to be hit. That is predatory, and it's a scam. But I'm just stating an observation. I'm not being mean to this dumbass.
People don't watch people to make fun of them unless they have something bad going on in their own life they need to feel better about. People who are busy with positive things don't.
Then why did he bring up how he's better than other streamers who have to take that bag? Hashtag ad. Like, why shit on these other content creators for taking sponsored deals then, if you're so happy? Like, again, he's gonna hide behind, I'm not being mean, okay? I'm just saying that, like, they're taking this and that. But it's like, you don't need to do that.
Don't have time to dump on others 24/7. So in that regard, that's why they're not going to pay to see what they want, because then if you pay, you feel like, oh no, well, I just improved the life of the person who I'm trying to bring down.
No.
You kind of see what I'm saying here? Like,
no, because we know the money would go to waste. I 1,000 times I've said this, but it didn't matter about the fucking WWE Champions thing being true or not. I know for a fact this guy wastes money. Look at the adventure of this fucking upgrades he's been doing. All wasted money. He bought multiple mic arms. Doesn't know what the fuck to do with them. He bought a buggy motherboard. Didn't do any further research into the motherboard or what motherboard that another streamer would have or anything. Did no research. Like, what did he use to base his motherboard on? I'd only assume he probably went to the PC builder and just put parts together and went with the cheapest ones. And that's it.
They need to degrade someone to feel better about themselves. So if they supported that person, they would feel like they're improving the person they're trying to degrade. At least that's my take, right?
Okay,
Maybe I'm
okay.
wrong.
I mean, that's quite
But
a
the funny
take.
part is, some people actually do come by after some time and be like, you know, Phil, out of all that hate watching and all the crap, I'm sorry for it. And I just want to let you know, I'm moving forward positively. Either I'm not going to watch you at all anymore,
Oh my
or I've actually
god.
started watching you positively on your own raw content and I've become a fan.
Dude, this is insane. He has been getting this for years, and he always acts as if it never happens or that nobody gives him a second chance. All these people who come out and give him a second chance, they get bodied by the current victim narrative he has at the time, all the time.
I'm not watching the regurgitation, the restreamer,
The
the hater.
regurgitation.
I'm actually coming by and becoming a viewer of yours now that's going to hang out and support you. That's happened. I get those kind of messages quite frequently. I'd say probably a couple times a month. I'll get someone who reaches out to me via private means and says, just so you know,
What if
I
they're
used to be one
what
of
if
these
they're
really
lying?
dedicated haters, but now I've seen the error of my ways. I think
Remember,
that it's
remember at the time where you got these weird ass fucking emails from people? Yeah, what happened to that? What happened to that guy?
stupid, and I'm going to move forward, you know, positively. Well, right. Cracker Jacks is kind of like a bully in school. Exactly. Remember I
What?
told you the story? When I was in high school, I was bullied by this guy. All
Oh
right.
my god.
And then years later, like I think I was either in like my late years of going to university, you know, whatever. I was like in my early 20s. The guy actually reached out to me online and personally apologized to me for being a bully in high school. And I was like, just so you know, you know,
I
I
don't
appreciate it,
care.
but you didn't have to because I don't really care.
Bullshit. This dude, like, th- this story is a lie, as far as I'm concerned, because this dude will hold it above your head to apologize. He has an apology fetish. All the like that's where it came from. Oh, you trolled me and you didn't apologize, so you want me to unban you? Why didn't you apologize to me first? He's so thirsty for apologies. I don't hold grudges. Oh, Pro Jared said I was a doo-doo head. I gotta shit on him. And this and that. And then you watch him talk about side scrollers, you see him talk about like all these people during those interviews. You're telling me that the people the guy who sat there while Craig was saying you should apologize for lying to me, he said that you should apologize to me, Craig. Apologize to me. You're being mean to me. Apologize to me, Craig. Apologize to me now. That guy said to a bully, I don't care, man. It's all good. Yeah, yeah, okay, man. And I'm Tim Apple. Yeah.
It didn't really bother me, you know what I mean? But that was nice. But that's what I mean. These people are essentially anonymous bullies, and the reason they do
But,
it is because they need to.
dude, there was a Discord leak literally had DSP bragging about them about how he looks forward to these people that he bans to apologize to them and grovel to be allowed back in. And that's the point. He said that. And now he's trying to tell us that he doesn't hold grudges and he doesn't and all this stuff. This is all literally just to make him sound like a cool guy.
Need to feel better about themselves because they're miserable wretches. You know? So in a way, you gotta feel bad for those people because imagine if
Oh, you gotta feel bad. You gotta feel bad for these people. Man, like, okay.
your whole life was just dumping on someone. That's all you did all day. Like what constructive things? That's your life you're wasting. Do you understand that? Like you're literally wasting
So
your
what?
entire life away.
Dude, you're playing games in your
And
entire
one day you're
life.
gonna die.
Oh,
And you're gonna say,
no.
oh shit, I spent
Oh,
years of
shit.
my life sitting around with a community of nut jobs, dumping on someone on the internet when I could have done things for myself that would have improved my own life situation.
What has he done to improve his life situation? Ask for more money. That's what he did.
And instead of living in a shitty small place in squalor, I could have went out and I could have got a job.
Squalor.
I could have worked my ass off. I could have had a relationship with a significant other. I could have made amends with my
How does
friends
he
and
know
family
that?
members and went out and
Dude, this dude acts as if like you go on a dating game and then like they're gonna do a background check. Like the person you're dating, they're gonna look and like, oh, this person has a YouTube channel and he's shitting on DSP. No thanks. Like, come on.
out and had a good time, but instead I was at home watching other people make fun of Dark Side Phil. Who's the real loser in this
Who's
situation?
the real loser?
The guy who's living large, having a great life, enjoying his content.
Man, I love when he brags about living large, but if people like just gave him $50 a day again, he would hate it. Like again, like when he gets these little like ego moments, I would love for him to not hit the goal for like a month. Like each time he does it, I'm adding another month. As much as I like a streak of unsuccessful streaks.
Content, enjoying his time with his viewers and making bank doing it, and just, you know, having positivity and
Making
fun.
bank.
Or the person who's on the other end of it, who all you can do is try to bring me down and fail every single day. And then your life is going to be the one that's squandered, not mine. I'm enjoying my life. Every day that I'm on this stream, I'm having a great time.
Is it? Are you enjoying your life when you talk about how you're a successful person, and then right after that you bring up how other people have to shill and take sponsorships? That is not very positive, and that's not like a good outlook to have.
Great time. Obviously not you. So, I mean, again, it's all about kind of like self-awareness. People who are self-aware, you get to that certain age or that certain level of maturity in your life, and you realize some certain things, right?
Wow, this is ironic coming from him.
You know what it really is? Is you get to a certain age. Here's the truth. All right, here's some real talk from Phil Burnell, not Dark Side Phil, but here's some real talk from Phil Burnell right now. At one point in your life,
guys, Phil Burnell is in the room now. We were talking about DSP was talking. Now Phil Burnell, the Phil Burnell personality has taken over of the person's body now. So the dark side Phil, the DSP persona, that's sleeping now. Now I feel like ever since the movie Split, it's like that.
Life, you're gonna get old enough where people around you, sadly, are gonna start to get sick and pass away. It happened to me. Probably around.
Oh my god, dude! This is this is insane. This is insane. He's really hoping that we're gonna have a Tiny Tim moment. Like, oh my god, my heart grew 2 times too big or whatever the fuck.
The early 2010s, when some of my family members started to get ill with cancer and things like that and pass away.
Okay.
And when that happened, all of a sudden, reality smacked me right in the face. I'm not invincible. I'm not immortal.
How old was he when he realized that? Like, I have to ask. Because, like, when you're saying this as a 40-year-old, and you're saying, like, it's not for you, like, talking to random people, you're either, I'm either hoping, in my mind, that he's talking, assuming that we're all like 5 years old and we don't know what death is yet, and that he found out when he was 5 or whatever. But like this is insane. And also, like, there's so much I want to like dissect about this, because this dude said that, well, my family separated and we never talked to them again. And I'm just gonna say it. I think this dude who brings up his family members that died from cancer, I don't think he was alive or even like old enough to remember them. And I guarantee like he's like, oh, what where's my grandpa, Mama Burnell? And she's like, oh, he died when you were like 1, and he died from cancer. And he's like, oh, guys, family died from cancer. I know it. It's like, I mean, that's not to say you can't feel bad about family members dying, regardless, obviously. But like the way he brags about it is like you know, you can feel bad about it, but yeah, he talks as if like he was like depressed, like he had to stay home from school, like that kind of time period. But again, it's hard to gauge. But it's just this. I can't take half this shit he says seriously when he's acted like that about many other things. Like, you know,
I'm going to get older. I'm going to die. I have limited time on this planet, and I need to start making the best of it instead of just saying fuck it all, it's all meaningless, and squandering it all. And when that happened,
but that's
okay.
But saying that's meaningless could also happen when you realize you're gonna die. Like, that's not like knowing you're gonna die doesn't make you not a nihilist sometimes. Like, it's really how you look at life, and that's what matters. And it's not like, oh, I'm a nihilist because I don't think I'm gonna die. Like, that makes no sense. And this dude who claims that he was depressed should kind of understand that, because like people who are depressed don't see themselves as immortal beings. Like this dude, I don't know what's going on in that head of his. Like, he has a very weird outlook on anything.
Things changed for me. I started to realize it's time to stop being a negative, toxic jerk and instead trying to spread positivity amongst the people who I have interactions with. I changed my attitude in the Street Fighter community and started.
No. This. It is unreal. Unfucking real that he brings this up when the June the King documentary was in the works. He literally told us, wow, guys, back in the Street Fighter days, I was really bad. I was like awful. I was a troll. I was terrible to people. And then he's saying this as if like during that time period was when he realized that he's gonna die someday and he became a better person. These two stories conflict with each other immediately. So, which is the lie?
And started becoming a positive tournament organizer. I stopped being a toxic jerk who crapped on every piece of gameplay I ever did, but instead wanted to make
But he kind of did, though. Even when he's talking about his old playthroughs. Oh, I was drunk. Oh, I was so awful. I was terrible. But now he's like, oh, I'm a positive guy, man.
Positive, fun, interactive streams with my viewing audience. And this happens as you get older. But I feel like there are some people who never get that moment of self-awareness and awakening where they feel the human condition for the first time. Some people never get it because they're living in this isolated bubble where they actually think that like there's fucking a special snowflake, and you know what I mean? Oh,
dude, he thinks he's a special snowflake. He's giving us a discussion about life because he thinks he's special enough to give us this I hesitate to say piece of knowledge.
Oh, I'm never gonna die. Nothing's ever, ever gonna happen. I could sit here for endless hours and endless days, weeks, months, years, hating on someone, and it's a good thing to do. They don't get it. They don't get it. One day they're gonna get to the point where all of a sudden someone they know is gonna get sick, or they're gonna get sick, and they're gonna sit there and be like, "What happened to my life?" Instead of me doing positive, fun things.
Oh, man.
Things that were constructive and helped others around me and improved the lifestyle and help of other people around me. Instead, what I did is I just brought people down. I hated on people.
Run for president.
I crapped on people.
Oh,
and that's not good.
That's not good.
It's not, man. You lost me? I think there was a blip in my internet. I should be okay.
Man. That is such a that's so funny.
Man, you lost me?
He goes on this big rant and says, "You lost me?" It was really like someone just listened and was like, "Oh my god, this guy lost me, man."
I
lost you, Phil.
I think there was a blip in my internet. I should be okay.
You went on way too much. You lost.
I'll wait a second. People are saying it's buffering. I should be back. It looked like there was a time. Right back. My internet went. It'll happen to everyone. Like everyone's gonna get to that point in their life. For me, it was about, well, the first realization I had was in my late 20s. All right.
So he had multiple revelations. Not a good sign to say that. Oh, it will take you one realization. It took him multiple, so that's one thing. And it was in his late 20s. He was like during his Street Fighter era, basically the era that he said that he was a troll and he was an alcoholic. Like, this makes no sense.
when I realized that when I stopped trolling in the Street Fighter community and instead tried to do positive things like run tournaments and stuff, that I was feeling much better about myself and everyone liked me, as opposed to previous to then, everyone hated my guts and wanted to beat my ass. And I was like, oh yeah, not being an asshole is better than being an asshole.
But guess what? He was still an asshole when he was setting up tournaments, though. Like, he wanted to screw over Guilty Gear players because he thought they were freaks. He just did a lot of like awful things. He's not a great guy, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and then the second moment of realization I had was in 2017. All right, when my life fell apart, when my
2017. 2017. And then guess what? He still wasted money in WWE Champions. Still lied to people. Come on.
relationship broke when I had to stop being a full-time on-demand content creator because the adpocalypse happened, and I started doing interactive streaming. And I started talking with you guys daily and having conversation rather than it just being about me making content and talking about games. It became about us having a social experience. And when we started doing that, I had this big realization that instead of just being a negative...
So, he mentions how we would... Oh my god, dude. He told us, well, it takes someone to die for them to realize. For me, it happened when I started seeing family members die. But I would say my first revelation was when in my late 20s when I went to Street Fighter tournaments and I fucked around too hard. And then the second realization was 2017, which had nothing to do with death. So it seems like the death aspect of it was just random to like misery porn, basically, to make us feel really bad because death is bad. Okay.
negative jerk all day, every day. I wanted to spread positivity and I wanted to make an impact on people that mattered. And so I changed my content for the better. I changed my commentary. I changed my style of playing games, right? Everything changed. Take a look. When I became a full-time streamer in 2017, how different my content became moving forward after that, since compared to before that.
I will say 2017 and 2018 were probably like the better aspect of his streams. 2019 a little bit, just as like watching is concerned, but it didn't last long. It still was pretty trash.
And, you know, a lot of people will say, well, everything before that was the golden era. I get that. That was my formative years when I was at my biggest popularity. But I like who I am and what I do today way more than what I did back then.
Again, the thing is, like, he said in his late 20s he realized to be positive, right? Then how come he was negative up until 2017 again? Like, and how do we know you're not going to relapse to being negative again? Which he has, by the way, but okay.
And I would never want to go back to that, all right? So I feel like these people who hate watch, right now, they're at a time in their lives when they're miserable.
So, you know what, then? If that's the case, DSP should help the trolls by getting them out of the situation, by giving them money, right? If we're not having the money to help and all this stuff, he should help us and make a fund. A help the detractors fund. And then he would donate it to a detractor of a lottery or whatever, and then he would give them the money, and then he would give them a little like thing, maybe, you know, give them a little prize.
They're probably younger. They probably don't understand that what they're doing is harmful, not only to me and my community, but harmful to their own selves.
We're
right?
They're
actually wasting their own time on this planet.
Dude,
when
we waste our time on this planet going to work, paying taxes. I mean, anything can be deduced as a waste of time. Like, come on. Like this little like holier than thou attitude he has, where it's like, oh, see, they're wasting their time, not me. Think about what he's doing. He's sitting there playing video games. He's not spending time with Jasper. Jasper is in his formative kiddie years, and you know, maybe he's gonna become a delinquent. The cat is gonna form a gang, and you know, he may start doing harder catnip. You know, like, we gotta be careful of. We don't want Jasper to fall down the gutter and become a street cat. Okay, I mean, come on. You gotta go to college.
They could be doing positive, fun things. They could be part of a positive community where everyone hangs out and supports each other, and they actually contribute to the streams, and then I'm able to upgrade my setup and do more stuff and buy more games and do new things.
Wait, what?
They could be part of a positive community where everyone hangs out and supports each other, and they actually contribute to the streams, and then I'm able to.
Oh my god. I love when he gets into this fervor of like of a story, and it just promotes them. They do this to me? Like, what?
Time on this planet when they could be doing positive, fun things. They could be part of a positive community.
Okay, be part of a positive community
where everyone hangs out and
everyone hangs out. We're in the community. We're hanging out.
Supports each other.
We support each other,
and they actually contribute to the.
They contribute
the streams and
to the streams.
And I'm able to upgrade.
Then I'm able
my setup and do
to upgrade his setup.
More stuff and buy more games and do new things, as opposed to I sit on someone else's stream who illegally steals his content and is actively trying to take away views and money. Guys, listen to me. If there was no illegal restreaming, I would have over 1,000 viewers on my stream right now.
No, I don't think you would. Because, no.
You know that, right? Every stream, Kick would probably have hundreds. YouTube would have thousands.
Because, like, again, like, I don't watch the smart guys restreams. Like, some of the restreams I want to watch, like the Street Fighter ones, I try to watch it on a replay. Like, whatever is archived, I watch that. Otherwise, I don't watch it. I may watch a montage, but I don't watch it. Like, you know, come on.
And think, if I had that level of views and support, instead of that level of people who just clowned on me all day, what we could do. We could have reach. We could actually have impact. We could have videos that people cared about and people would listen to, you know? It would be a very different thing. And I used to have that power until the internet turned me into a negative meme for it. We could actually have impact. We could have videos that people cared about and people would listen to, you know? It would be a very different thing. And I used to have that power until the internet turned me into a negative meme for a decade.
But I thought you had it back now, but no one took him seriously. Again, he would always go to the meme answers like the Sopa, Pippa, whatever the fuck. But these were like obvious like algorithm successes because everyone would talk about it. Like, come on. And then you see when that kind of topic comes up again, like in other forums like net neutrality or whatever, he's like, well, whatever, man, you know, it is what it is. So he only did it back then for the clout. He didn't do it because he genuinely believed it, because if he did, then you would think he would naturally like read up about other instances of net neutrality and understand the problem, like the issues with it being taken away or reinstated or whatever the fuck.
And it's sad that these people can't bust out of that trap, that prison, that mold that they're stuck in,
guys.
to realize that if they just looked big picture and understood the human condition, they would realize what a waste they are to this planet. Because none of them sitting there doing that are helping anyone. They could be helping themselves and others, but instead it's just waste.
Well,
it's sad. And again, I've been there. I've absolutely positively been there. So
what about
anyway, yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is.
Is that why?
But yeah.
I love you said this. As I said before, like a week ago, he was like fantasizing, suing us, and making us homeless and destitute, and wanting to ruin our lives off of principle. Now, like, these poor people, man, they're wasting their life, and you gotta feel sad for them. But yesterday, he was stroking into the idea of suing us and making sure we're homeless. But this is, I guess that was DSP talking, this is Phil Burnell talking.
But yeah, you know, it's funny because you take a look at like a show like Smart Guys, right? Where we are actively trying to do fun segments and fun things with the content that people would want to see. But you notice that there's no support for it because these people are so ingrained in.
Who the fuck is this content for, Phil? You want to do Smart Guys because PvP wanted, and he thought that his own community would want a wrestling show. Now it has morphed to, well, we do this thing called Grill Fill and the trolls don't show up. The trolls just want to hear, they don't want to support it. They don't give a fuck about the support aspect of it because they don't genuinely care. Again, it is so funny to me that he bases all of his metrics on successful streams on what the trolls think. Dude, you're making content for your fans. Why the fuck are you thinking about the trolls? And then he wants to sue them and ruin their lives, but you feel sorry for them? What are you talking about? You're all over the place.
And brainwashed to think I have to watch this content on an illegal restreamer and not support Phil, even though supporting Phil would actually keep the content coming that they want.
But the thing is, that's also factually not true. I've said this many times. You will start to see DSP get more angry, and he'll be taken out literally on his own chat if he doesn't get money. That is what DSP is. He has a very bad anger problem. And he takes it out on his own audience. There's so many instances where he literally starts the stream and says, guys, if I take it out on you, I'm sorry. And this and that, I'm just in a very pissed off mood. And I had a Persona 3 reload stream last week or the week before, and I was as this was going on, I was getting kind of heated because I was doing the answer, and this one fight was pissing me off and this and that, and I didn't take it out on the audience. I was more mad at the game, and I was like, I'm just gonna end the stream, there's no one here. There's no one here talking to me, and this game is pissing me off. And I just don't want to get really heated, so we ended the stream, and that was fine. Then the next day, I went back to the stream, and it was fine. Whatever. But this dude will literally get mad and then just take it out on the audience. And then apologize ahead of time, if you're lucky.
They don't get that because they've been brainwashed because people manipulate them. People like these restreamers literally are manipulating their audiences on a daily basis to be a cult-like mentality.
How is anyone grooming? Well, he does say grooming. I don't know this video or the next video, but he does say that we manipulate. What have any of us done to manipulate each other? I guess you're sitting watching this 3-hour video, so I mean I guess that's some form of manipulation.
Of hate towards me so that their gravy train keeps coming in. You notice they're all monetized. You notice they all accept contributions. They're not doing it because they feel like this is a true crusade or good thing that they're doing. They're doing it for the money. That's why, you know what I mean? That's it. They're just fucking grifters. They're a bunch of schlubs.
Where's my money?
And one day the gravy train's gonna end. Whether it's via the law, whether it's via YouTube rules changing, whatever it's gonna be, it ain't gonna last forever. But they're going to grift until then. So it's really sad that there are thousands of people out there that could be potential positive people in this community, but instead they're just...
I love that he says this, but he says, YouTube pushes the drama content. You notice that positive content doesn't get enough views because YouTube pushes drama. And then he's saying that we should all be positive, but what if you don't get pushed into the algorithm because it favors drama, correct?
Just sitting there in a cult that literally helps no one but the grifters.
Oh, okay. Helps the grifters.
Okay, I got a few more tips to shout out, and then I think we got to
oh god. Please tell me he doesn't
pound. So we'll count it. That is the top tip of the day. So Mulsibush says, I'm one of those people. I met you through a mirror channel. Very toxic and vicious people there. I can understand.
Toxic and vicious people. Oh, man. You talking as if you went to, the dark web.
Understand that they don't like or they even hate you, but why hate and attack people that support you? They know nothing about those supporters. Some are even young people, and cheers. Those closeted fans out there who can't man up and admit to themselves that they actually enjoy one stream.
Dude, the people that go after supporters are the ones that are, the weirdest ones. I mean, people can have any opinion. I mean, there are some I feel like that, these people don't, some of these people don't deserve to be doxxed. I mean, Not all of them do, to be honest. Like, whatever. But I don't have their opinions on that. But at the same time, there are a lot of like DSP supporters that literally antagonize trolls. Like that's just as much of a thing as the other whatever. Like, come on, whatever.
Streamer or the other, and must lie even to themselves. You will forever live at the shadow of what other people think of you. Wow.
Wow. What?
Or the other, and must lie even to themselves. You will forever live at the shadow of what other people think of you. Wow.
Oh, man.
We're getting some insightful stuff. Some insightful stuff on today's stream, man.
You must lie to yourself.
That was well said.
Yeah, okay.
Well said. Mulciber, good one. And then we got a $5 tip here.
Yeah, wait until you try to help him and he shits on you, right?
So,
like
let's see here.
What about that?
Okay, this is the same person who had...
Why don't we talk about Lavinia, the Lavinia situation? Why didn't he want to apologize? Why did he, like, purposely, like, antagonize Lavinia to kind of encourage her to, like, get angry? Like, if you look at the chain of events during that situation, it kind of comes off as DSP specifically designed his streams on both those days to piss off Lavinia and to ban her for really no reason.
Who had made the suggestion about appealing to those hate watching on restreams. Okay, it's a $5 tip. And they said, I get where you're coming from. I thought you might appreciate the insight into other communities that revolve around you and actively watch you. And they have dedicated viewership. And I'd be sad to find out if 100% of them are haters. But like you said, probably at least a few percent of people are just hanging around because of you and their communities. Maybe that's because they can be unhinged, but actually appreciate and support even every month. So that's positive. Thank you and have a nice stream. Yeah.
Wow,
like I said, I legitimately get contacted.
Like,
all right.
Man, I really don't get how like anyone would have fans that talk like this. Like, man, it's so weird. Oh man.
By people who say,
like, I've never seen anyone like give a fuck about other people's haters. Hey, I should do that to Mega 64. Hey, Rocco, I know some people don't like Mega 64, but I think there's something to support you, Rocco. I think a lot of people support Mega 64, even though they may hate you. But I think I like you guys, and they should like you too. That sounds insane. And also, like, after saying that out loud, imagine you're doing a stream or you're putting something out, and someone tells you, yeah, man, a lot of people hate you, but I think they should watch you and support you, and they should like you because they hate you, but they should support to keep you around because they hate you, but like other people like you, but they should support you because you make content. Like that kind of sounds like a backhanded weird insult almost. It's a very weird statement, and it's like I'm pretty sure it's a LARPer, obviously, but it's also like. The thing with DSP fans is that they are all very dented in very dented ways. So who is to say that they generally believe that? It's already it's the line is getting blurred each day with this guy's community, which is why I said for years, if a streamer wakes up one day with his kind of chat, they're canceling their streaming career. They're like, okay, I'm getting a job. Fuck this.
Used to be a part of that community,
man.
And then I took a step back. Like a lot of them actually say things like it took a friend or a family member who found out that I was a part of that community and watched a restream and literally said to me, what on earth are you doing with your life? This is like real.
I think the most they would say is, okay. Like that's it. Like they would just be like, okay, like, are you eating? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think they care that much. They made, at most, they may make fun of, like, I don't know. Like, they may make fun of you for doing it, but they're probably not going to be like, oh, guys, we need an intervention. Sit down, everyone. Theo? We saw your YouTube channel. I think it's time to, go to rehab. We're gonna put you into a little bed. they're gonna strap you up so you don't go through withdrawals and this and that, and you'll be fed and all this stuff, but you're doing too much DSP videos.
Really messed up toxic stuff you're participating in,
Like,
and you've
whatever.
got to fix this because you're going down a really bad path in your life. I've had people outright say it's almost like an intervention, but now they've seen the error of their ways and they're sorry. And some people do eventually become, actual active fans and viewers, and some are like, I've just decided to move on with my.
They needed an intervention to then become a fan of DSP. I think that'd be a little more concerning. Like, I can understand, like, they may not watch him at all. That's one thing, but I mean, to say that they need an intervention to become a fan, that's something completely different.
With my life, but I wanted to apologize. And I appreciate that, I really do.
No, you
but
say you don't
it's
care
crazy.
about
I mean, no lie. Those communities are like cults. They've become 100% regurgitation. Here's what you do, right? Go to one of those restreams and watch whenever a meme appears. I do something that is a negative meme.
Okay. What's funny about this, though, is it's getting to a point when you start to see the kick chat do the applause, and just see how shortly after DSP will follow in reacting to it. Like, he's becoming like a Pavlov's experiment at this rate. Because there's been moments where someone just posts this and like, "Alright guys, we're gonna have beef tomorrow." Yes! And it's like, that's it is. "Alright guys, that's the schedule." Someone types, "Yes!" And it's like, yeah, we're the ones that bark at memes, not you, Phil.
And watch how literally every person on the stream becomes a fucking parrot or a sheep, and they're all repeating it, and it's like they're completely programmed to react in that way.
What?
It's fucked. It's legit.
Dude, I don't remember anyone doing this. Dude, DSP said, "That being said, whoa, guys, whoa."
Get fucked. Like,
Get fucked.
whoa. There's like 1,000. It's like they're completely programmed to react in that way. It's fucked.
Oh, it's fucked.
It's legit fucked. Like, whoa.
Legit.
There's like 1,000 people on this stream and they're all crazy. They've all been programmed to react.
You know what? He's streaming right now. Let's go to a restream. Let's see.
Discover basically that she has versatility. She actually has a true reversal.
There was a deranged rant. No more rants. No more. That's the first thing I see. I load this fucking stream up and I see what a deranged rant. That is scary news. I'm scared to even figure out what that is. Oh my god. I don't want to watch this anymore. But I guess that's the meme.
Act to that when it happens. Like, what on earth? Like, what is that?
What example does he have?
That's not normal.
Can he pull up an example of this? Like, what example does he have? Ack. So what? But this dude also brings up memes. He brings up the Wendy's chili meme sometimes. He talks about all these other kind of memes. He has an emo on Kick that's his fat face. He talks about memes himself. And now when the trolls do it, that's fucked up and they're deranged.
Normal human reaction and behavior. It's fucked. It's like you've been programmed and sensitized to react that way to that thing. Even when the memes don't make sense. Because there's memes they've made about me that legit are not factually true about anything, but they have repeated them to the point where now it's like we must respond this way when we see or hear this thing. It's like I must respond to the stimuli because I'm programmed that way, even though it doesn't make sense that you're doing it.
You won't tell me what it is.
Did you ever see like the stories of people who've actually been programmed, brainwashed, and all of a sudden they'll react to something and they don't know why? Because they were brainwashed to react to it. That's how these people.
This is like when you learn about Pavlov's experiment. Like, Dude, do you know that like the dog like learned this by feeding him a treat every time a bell rings, and now when the bell rings they start drooling? Do you remember that? Whoa!
People are, but they don't get it. And they don't
get
understand that the people who brainwash them are profiting on them every single moment. They're getting ad revenue. They're doing super chats. They're throwing the money. It's a cultish mental conditioning. They don't get it.
This dude is saying that we're conditioning by through memes, as this guy belligerently and like just goes on and on and on about hitting fucking support goals. Guys, we did not get a tip in this long. Guys, I really want to have Chick-fil-A Friday. I really want the Marathon Friday, guys. Guys, come on. Fridays. Now, God, like, and you know what's the kicker in all of this, though? When you literally, like, listen to a stream, you can, and you like, hop off a tab, and you hear, now guys, you know exactly what follows. Like, he does that too. He, like, think about it. Every time he talks about support, he starts off with, now guys, and all this stuff, to a point where it's conditioning. I could be doing something and saying here, no, now guys, I know we're in for a beg. I know we're in for one. The moment I hear now guys. And this dude is sitting there telling us that the trolls, they're conditioning viewers into doing this and that. Meanwhile, this guy has fucking keywords that you know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I think we're gonna wrap it up now.
Oh my god, finally.
I have an anonymous dollar. Be sure to include a message.
All right, we're done. I am not going to include the other one. We're already at 4 hours. This thing is way too long. But we covered a lot of bullshit, okay? So I will upload another video at some point that's going to follow part 2 of this initial plan. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for hanging in there. If you've watched it this far, type in chat. No, you don't have to type in chat. Just congratulations for being a gamer. You're a true gamer. All right, see you next time. Bye.